The worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity. Welcome to episode 4 of Car Shopping Questions and Answers. We are live on 4 platforms: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Okay, we already got people asking questions on TikTok. As you come in, we do these shows at 12. Hold on, I want to give my camera time to focus because I'm doing a lot of moving. We do these live shows, it'll focus in 1 second, at 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern time. Hold on, I'm out of focus. There we go. 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern time. Now, we broadcast these shows throughout the day because a lot of people can't make the live broadcast. You want to tell your friends about it. If this is your first time with us, you've never been on a live with us before. Oh, wait, hold on. They're saying that hold on, can't hear. No sound. All right, hold on. Let's see. How about that? We're good on TikTok? Let me make sure we're good here on, give me a clear if we're clear on Facebook now. Give me a clear. We always got to do the housekeeping, y'all, and I need your help. Before we get busy, let me know audio is good. I see we're clear on TikTok. How are we on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook? All right, perfect. I see the thumbs up just came through. Okay, so this is episode 4. We do these live shows 12 p.m. Eastern time and 3 p.m. Eastern time. So you'll see the broadcast throughout the day, but if you want to actually be live with us, then you want to join us on any of the 4 platforms at one of those 2 times: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we are live. My name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. I am the author of the digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get your copy for 75% off during the show over the next 30 minutes in my TikTok bio and my Instagram bio. Or I'm going to put the banner up here. You can go to deshonesbook.com. We have a link in the comment. We have a comment link in the comment section. So I want you to start typing your questions. We get very, very busy. Have your notes ready. Be ready to unlearn what you've learned about cars, because we get below market deals, and that should be your only mission when you are car shopping, is to get below market deals. All right. Now, one thing that I want to discuss. Okay, matter of fact, let's go. Go ahead, throw that up. Let's go to Frankie's question. So this is from TikTok. Can you please give me the percentage breakdown on leases again? Okay. The 1% rule has been around since probably before I ever even got into the car business. The 1% rule says that if your lease payment is 1% of the MSRP, or less, you stole the car. No down payment. So I had a 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It was a $35,000 vehicle. My lease payment was $330 a month. That was under 1%. That's how we indicate that. Now, how we're doing the math is we are taking the MSRP, taking the monthly payment rather, and dividing it into the MSRP. For example, $330, which was my payment, into the MSRP, which was 35,000, and then that gives us 0.009%. 0.009%. Good afternoon, Vivian. Good to see you. So that's how you do it. Now you can multiply by 100. If you want to really get the percentage, you multiply by 100 and you'll see 0.94%. So that has been around for a long time. Shout out to the sharers. I see you, Frankie. Thanks for sharing. Please DM me too. I'm still waiting on ideas for what we could do for the people who share the broadcast. I mean it. We want to make sure we are rewarding people who share, tag, people who invite people to the broadcast. So DM me these ideas. Those are the only DMs I'm looking for because we get too many DMs to really respond to them. We get probably 50 to 100 a day. So we can't respond to all DMs, but those are the ones that I'm looking for. Okay, shout out to everybody who shares. Now, that's been around for a long time. That's how you know you stole the car. It's not even a question now that we still need to get offers because like this is Freener right here. This is why you never want to get excited about one offer unless it's the lowest bid. Here's why. Freener, she just got a, hold on, I'm putting it up here on the screen. She just got a 0.88% lease on a Jeep Grand Cherokee hybrid anniversary edition. $65,000, $65,950 was the MSRP. Her best bid was $579 a month. She's in the video library. She has what we teach. Getting bids. See, so sometimes you could look and be like, oh, this offer looks really, really good. Should I take it? Not if it's not the lowest bid. It must be the lowest out of at least 5 offers. Because what I always tell you is 80% of dealers are overpriced. They're going to overcharge. So that's how you know if you won. Now we had to come up with something. When I started teaching people about leasing, I said, oh, shoot, some of you going to go out here and you've been buying your cars and you're going to walk into dealers and you're going to get a lease and you're going to think it's good because you're still paying less than somebody who actually bought. But we had to come up with something that was showing you when you were overpaying for a lease. And so I started doing some math because I love math. And once I worked the math out, I said, okay, how much are we paying before we're paying too much for a car we're giving back? 1% is the steal. But what's the limit? And I started looking at how cars depreciate, how much car, if you bought it, how much the car would depreciate. And I came up with 1.5%. So when we look at the same vehicle that is, let's say a $40,000 vehicle, for example, 1% is $400 a month or less. 1.5% is $600 a month. Now, what you look at is the total you're paying over the 3-year lease. 600 times 36 months, that's 21.6. So when you take $40,000, you add your taxes and everything, you're probably going to end up about 44. 21 is about the threshold where you're still paying less than if you had bought. You're still losing less value, but and you're tying up less money. But at the same time, that's the limit. Above 1.5%, there's no value in this lease anymore. And that doesn't mean we go buy the car. That means we look at competitors because competitors do offer more aggressive lease pro. Every single vehicle, you guys, and there's over 400 of them, has a different lease program. Sometimes even the trim level is different. The Touring has a different lease program than the Limited. So we don't deal with overpriced leases. And so that's why I created the 1.5% rule. That's how it became to be, based on the fact that I knew a lot of people, as they unlearned that bad advice about leasing, as I taught it and as they heard it from other people, they were going to go and get leases. And it's important that you know when there's no value in a lease and you shouldn't be accepting a lease. And that doesn't mean, and look, let me be very clear. That does not mean, that's why I explained the first part of this question, of this answer. You don't walk into a dealer and say, hey, I'm trying to get under 1.5. You don't walk into a dealer and get a lease quote and then you say, hey, well, look, I got to be under 1.5%. No, you're doing this wrong. Again, my mindset and what I'm trying to get you to use is Cars from Home, where you should be. The only reason you should be in a dealership is to test drive cars. If you're buying new cars or leasing, test drive, you're in and out of there in 20 minutes. The next time you're back in a dealer is another 30 minutes to pick up your car if they don't deliver. That is the only reason. We never talk numbers in a dealership for a new car or a lease. Are we clear on that? These are rules where it's like, if you want to use what I teach, and I want you to use it so that you can get the results that Frina got, that Danielle got, that we've worked with over 8,000 people in the last since 2021. I want you getting those results. And in order to get them, you got to know what the boundaries are. Deshone says we never talk numbers in the dealership because you have no leverage there. Your leverage is at home, in control, communicating with multiple dealers, and where you can't get emotional. Okay? Clear? So that's the 1% rule, and that's the 1.5% rule, Frankie. Great question. Okay, shoot the next one in, Dolan. Great question. All right, this is Tony on Facebook. And remember, look, y'all, we are live right now. So some of you have seen the rebroadcast, and you're like, Deshone, okay, this is 3 p.m., 12 p.m., we're live. Okay, so this is the time to ask your questions. You're not watching the rebroadcast, and this is also the time to tag a friend and make sure they're here so they can get their questions answered. Shout out to the sharers. And could y'all keep tapping the screen on TikTok and running those likes up? This gets TikTok's attention and gets more people over here because we got to do this together. All right, Tony from Facebook says, hi, my lease is up in a month. I wrote to get 3 quotes from dealers. I only got 1. That's normal. The other 2 are taking their time. That's normal. I have a third-party restriction. Should I wait for the other 2 quotes or just run with the 1 quote? I never run with a 1 quote, and I get 5 quotes. So you're mentioning 3. I never mentioned 3. 80%, again, a lot of what we're talking about, y'all, is math. I'm unfortunate where I have the data. I got probably 5,000-6,000 people who have my book. We probably got close to 2,000 people in the Cars from Home library in my coaching program. That's a lot of data to prove that it's 80% that are overpriced. That's 4 out of 5. So the reason why we must get 5 quotes is because 4 are overpriced. So 3, not enough. Now, if you're doing this manually, this is still easier than you walking into a dealer doing it by phone. But at the same time, I do online. I go to their website. We are connecting with dealers through their website. You don't want to do this with third-party websites that say, hey, we could connect you with multiple dealers. You don't want that because now they're trying to sell your information to the dealers, and this is not what you want to do. You want to create a Gmail account specifically for shopping. We go to 25 dealers' websites. In my book, I link you to all the dealers so that you can just put in the zip code and then it'll pull up all the dealers around you for every brand. But you can do this yourself. You can go there and you can actually put that. You go to each dealer's websites. We do a copy and paste message. I have a template that I use that the people who follow my stuff use. And the template tells, you need to tell them exactly what you want and what you're open to. Colors wise, this is why we build our car. We always build our car, go to the website, build the car, because we tell them exactly what we want and what we're open to. This takes us 20 minutes to contact 25 dealers online, copy and paste. We're telling them what we're looking for. Hey, these are the colors I'm open to, blue, black, or silver. These are the trim levels I'm open to, limited or touring. We're telling them this is these are the package, these are my must-haves. I need the big sunroof. All of that has to go in to see, it's not that you're not car shopping online. You're just now you're car shopping against people who their job is to make money. And so if you don't have what I'm telling you I've responded to hundreds of internet requests when I work for the dealers. If you're here for the first time, type a 1. If this is your first time ever being on a broadcast with us, type a 1. I want you to know a little something about me. I was inside car dealers for 14 years, responding to these quotes. So the reason why I'm giving you the exact strategies is because I know there's so many things that you're not trained to give the dealership that they need. They can't give you a quote without it. They can't shop correctly, without it. Okay, shout out to the first time people. Could everybody type welcome to the first time people? If you've been on here before, type welcome to the first time people. Now, once you give them that information, you're copy and pasting that. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. You're doing that with 25 dealers. And then that creates the conversation to see where the dealers are actually coming, where the deals are coming from. But you need to see who has a car first. You need to see who has a car first. So, oh, you're talking about selling the lease. Okay, you're earlier in the process. Understood, Tony. Okay, perfect. No, just talk to another used car manager. And you want to have conversations because one, your car is worth different things to different people. You need at least 3 for that. You're on point. Yes, 3 quotes for your lease buyout. For your old car from 3 different used car managers. And if the 2 are not getting back to you, then just move on to other ones. But be aware, you should be using those values you got online from the online buyers to see if you have equity, because not everyone has equity. The whole purpose of the equity assessment is to make sure you're not leaving any money on the table. That's the purpose. But there's no guarantee. Many people have turned their leases in not knowing that they should have done an equity assessment, and then the dealership sitting on $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 that they didn't know about. That's what we want to prevent. So if you do those offers and you see you have $3,000, $4,000 in equity, now that's when you bring it here. If you do those offers and you're at a break even or $1,000, then that's not always worth it, because those used car managers are not going to match the highest offer. So be aware of that. But if you have equity there, then yeah, 3 used car managers, that's how you make a move. Okay? Fight for your money. This is your money. If you end up making $1,500 out the deal even, and it took you 2 hours, where do you make $750 an hour at? $750 an hour. So this is your money. And if you don't fight for your money, someone else will definitely cash the check. All right? Tyler said, send the next one in. Tyler said, F&I director here in Houston of 2 large stores. Your content is great. I appreciate you, Tyler. This is the 20% right here. See, the 20% can always admit when we're doing something to help the market. The 80% will come on here and be like, oh man, this guy couldn't make it in the car business. Now he's teaching. All right, go ahead. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. This one's from Facebook. What's up, John? Instagram, y'all not typing enough questions. And Instagram, just so you know, the easiest platform to share on is Instagram, because you hit that little arrow, it looks like a paper plane, and it'll let you go down your Instagram friend list and send this broadcast out to probably 10, 15, 20 people. Okay? Don't cheat your friends. All right? Shout out to the sharers. John from Facebook says, is it hard to purchase with a charge-off on credit 3 years old? So everyone who has credit issues should be following Shonda Martin. She's on all the platforms, Road to 750 plus. And you should be working on getting your credit to the point where you can qualify for the best programs. And you don't need an 800 credit score to qualify for the best programs. You usually need close to 680, 690 will usually qualify you for most tier 1 leases. Now there are some cars that have super tier where you tier A1 plus, but that's not most leases. That's not your standard everyday cars that most of us are leasing or buying. So the question is, the answer is, if you don't need a car, then you should be working on your credit. If you need a car, then there's nothing you can do. You need to make a move. And so I recommend a company like Limbuzz. We're always going to give the dealer a chance to match or beat our offer. So whoever we end up buying our car from, some of you have been taught never let the dealer participate. That's costing you money because the dealer has 7, 10, 12 banks on their end. Now, if they're trying to beat and earn your business, now that's a winning position. See, check this out. When you have a finance manager who's saying this about you, what's the highest interest rate you think they'll pay? What's the highest payment you think they'll pay? That's a bad position to be in. That only happens when you have no leverage, you haven't shopped, you haven't come in with an offer, and now they're trying to see the highest interest rate that you'll pay. We're not doing that. You're doing it our way, which is we're going to have we don't let anyone touch our credit until after we find our car. Now, once we find our car, get our best deal through a bidding system, now we're going to take that purchase agreement, that's a receipt. Yep, I see the questions coming in on Instagram. We got you. Hold on, Atlantis. Once you see the long form receipt, now you take this home, and this is when you're going to contact your bank, your credit union, the online lenders. You're going to go online lenders, online banks, online credit unions. You're going to let all these people have a shot at your business. If you do this within a small window of time, if you do it my way, it only take you 2 days. This is going to weigh on your score the same as one hard inquiry, because this is something called rate shopping. This is not going from dealer to dealer, getting turned down or putting in applications and nothing like that. This is how you rate shop correctly. I call this the bank bidding war. When you get my book, I also send you the bank bidding war blueprint. It's going to be going into my book, but I need about another month to be able to combine it. But I send you the bank bidding war blueprint. Now, the bank bidding war is 3 rounds. First thing we're doing is seeing, is there any special interest rates that the car we're buying has? In your particular case, John, with credit challenges, you're not going to qualify for that. That's okay. But we need to check that. If there's 0%, 0.99%, that eliminates our need to do anything else with financing, because no one else is going to beat that. Second part of the round starts, there's 3 rounds to the bank bidding war. The second part comes after we find our car, and it's what I just broke down. When we come home, we let all these banks, these lenders, online credit unions run our credit, and so they're bidding and submitting us their loan offers. Now, the third round is the dealer. That's when we're going to call the dealer who we reserved the car with and say, hey, I got 6.29 from this bank. If you can beat it, I'll give you the business. Now, this is the big difference, you guys. When you have a finance manager who's trying to beat your offer, who's calling their banks and saying, hey, I need to get 5 point something because this person already has 6. That's leverage. When you start bidding, like I'm teaching you, like what's in my book, like what's in everything we do, in my videos, everything's a bid. You have the leverage. And there's no way for you to overpay when you are getting bids. So that finance manager calls you back, it's only going to be 1 or 2 answers. Hey, Stuart, man, listen, I tried my best, man. I reached out to every bank I got. No, I can't beat that rate, man. I appreciate the opportunity, but you can go with your own financing. In which case, you guarantee you got the best loan. Second thing is, hey, you know what? You had a good rate, man, but I got somebody to beat it. So we can do it right here for you. Perfect. In which case, you guarantee you got the best loan. See, you don't have enough people competing for your business. That's where your buyer's remorse is coming from. That's where your lack of confidence is coming from. That's why you're driving off from a dealer saying, hey, you think we could have got more money? You think we could have got another $1,000 off? That's all buyer's remorse because you don't have enough people competing. So I want you to stop that. I want you to use what I'm telling you to do. All of this is in my book for those of you who like Deshone. I don't even want to remember all of this. It's all in my book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. This is what I've been teaching for 3 years. And this is what I've been doing since 2015 myself personally. So you can get your book for 75% off. Cue up the next question, Dolan. Oh, John, in your case, though, when you get that buyer's order, you would be reaching out to Limbuzz. So after you find your best car deal, you would be reaching out to Limbuzz and seeing, what their rates would be for you and then you will be going with, still giving the dealer the opportunity to see if they can beat it. Because once a dealer knows you got an approval already, they kind of have a little more leverage to be able to see if they can beat that approval. But in any case, even if they can't, LendBuzz is pretty generous. But we don't do this until after we find our car. Okay? Great question. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. All right, this is Gemini from Instagram. Can a dealership legally raise the price from what is being offered online? Listen, nobody's suing dealers. So it's not really about what's going on legally. It's probably more ethics than anything. And we don't expect dealers to be ethical. We don't need dealers to be ethical. They've proven that the majority of them aren't ethical. So when you're not ethical, you walk the fine line between breaking the law and not. You walk that gray area. I overcharged you. I know you could have paid less, but I know, whatever. But I know I could have sold you the car for less. But I'm gonna tell you that this is the best. Like, all of this stuff is unethical, but it's legal. So when it comes to what we're doing, our job is to protect ourselves. And you can't go into a car dealership expecting them to protect you. You can't go into any business transaction expecting the person you're negotiating against or the person who's selling you a product to protect you. That's why we exist, because there's no one out there. If it hadn't been done, you'd been good. If there were, even if the I think it's the Federal Trade Commission or whoever regulates businesses were stepping in to protect the public, then we wouldn't have a need for what we do. But that doesn't exist. So it's on you. It's buyer beware. It's you protect yourself. And so I provide the tools for everyone who wants to take action to protect themselves. All right? But no, we don't expect dealers to do anything other than what they've been doing. Go ahead, shoot the next question up. Let's roll. All right. Why shouldn't a person focus just on monthly payment, monthly car note? Okay, good question. Hold on. Let me make sure I can see Instagram. All right, so this one's from Instagram. Promise Tammy said, why shouldn't a person focus on just the monthly car note amount? So if we did a little math and you go, all right, if you walk into a dealer and you're looking at a $40,000 car and you say to the dealer, how much does that car cost a month? And they're smart, if they're trained, they're going to say, well, it's not really about the car payment right now. Do you like the car? And once you say, yeah, I like the car, let's get down to numbers, they're going to ask you, they're going to try to figure out what you could afford. Like, what's the most you could afford? Or I can't afford any more than $450 a month. Now, some of you know every $1,000, every $5,000 on the purchase price of a car is how much per month. Some of you know. I know we got a lot of new people on here, but for those of you who've been tapped in with us, how much is every $5,000 on a car loan? So, and the reason why I give you guys this parameter is so when you look at that $40,000 car, thank you, Frankie, got it. You should automatically know every $5,000 is about $100 a month. Yep, you got it, Michael. All right, I see you. We got people tapping on every platform. Good job, Carmelo. So the reason why, see, those of you who focus on just the car payment, you are some of the people who the 80% of dealers are going to manipulate the most and make the most money on. Because when you come in, if you don't realize that $40,000 car is in no way close to $450 a month, now you have someone who's going to try to manipulate the loan to make that car $450 a month somehow. Now, it's usually going to end with you having a super long loan. So I've had people come to me years ago, friends that would say, Deshone, what you think about this deal? I say, man, let me look at the paperwork. And I see, man, you know the loan is 96 months? Nah, man, I didn't even know that. Yeah, the loan is 96 months. What is that, 8 years? 84 months is 7 years, 96 months is 8 years. So you're out the door at an 8-year loan. Now, I'm not gonna assume you know why that's bad. So I'll say that an 8-year loan leads to too much interest, and it's what it is, because if they got you an 8-year loan, it's certainly at a high interest rate, because banks know that those loans, people who need 8-year loans are risky. People who need 8-year loans, they got to protect themselves, because typically the car may have problems in the long run. When you go down, see, the whole point with a shorter loan, 5-6 years, some people want to be conservative, you take 4 years, but you want that car paid off by the time maintenance comes, by the time repairs start being needed, because cars need repairs every now and then. So you want the car paid off. They know that if we give this person an 8-year loan, typically they're probably going to have issues around year 7, year 6, even depending on the age of the car. So the length of loan, I teach something called the rule of 72 and the 10th birthday. I will not in any way co-sign anyone getting a loan longer than 72 months, which is 6 years, because we don't have, see, what's the longest loan, a mortgage, that any of you would take? Let's keep a real fast dialogue going. All of this is to really answer the question that Tammy's asking, which a lot of other people have. So we need to indicate why this makes a difference. The longest mortgage most of you are going to take is 30 years. Mortgage. There are 40-year mortgages available. There's 50-year mortgages available. No one on here said, yo, I do a 50-year mortgage. Why? Because we already know inherently anything longer than 30, that means we can't afford this house. That means we're looking at the wrong house. So we had to make sure we created boundaries so that you understand, okay, if I got to take a loan longer than 6 years on a car, that's telling me I can't afford the car. So once I get my best price, I should already be able to afford that car with a 6-year loan or less. And I combine that with the 10th birthday. So when you look at your car, you should have your car paid off by the 10th birthday. You're taking a lot of risk if you got a loan on the car past its 10th birthday. A lot of the times I was in a dealership, people came in with problems, big repairs, and they still had car payments. Car's 10 years old, 11 years old, and they still got car payments. You could run the risk of being in trouble, because that car could be in the shop. Some of you have experienced this. Car's in the shop, and you still got a monthly payment due every month. Now, this is disaster, and that's what we're trying to prevent. That's why we don't focus on the monthly payment. When we're purchasing a car, we are only focused on the price of the car. We need to, before we even think about monthly payment, how about this? We need to make sure we're getting the car for the lowest price possible. Because some people go in and like, hey, the car's 40 grand. Well, what if another dealer will sell it to me for 35? Once I get the lowest price, then I'm concerned with what my monthly payment is going to be. So there's steps to this. But yeah, don't focus on monthly payment, and just stay committed to what we're teaching, and you'll learn, and you'll see why, even more information of why that's bad. But we want you to understand the numbers, okay? Typically, you focus on monthly payments, you don't quite understand the numbers, but you will. All right, this one's from TikTok. Can you give us some tips about co-signing? Ooh, I have a very, very, very strict rule when it comes to co-signing. Now, some people, you're not going to like this. Some people will tell you this is bad advice. It's just my opinion. I've seen tons of horror stories. I've seen people walk into the dealership. I've seen young people who will co-sign, who will use up people's credit, co-signing, and just burn them, because no one cares about, if you don't care about your own credit, you certainly don't care about someone else's in a lot of cases. So, but I do have some rules, because sometimes it's going to make sense. When you can pay, if a person does not pay, then you're good. Example, my daughter, we're going to get her a car. I'll co-sign only if I can pay the note if she doesn't pay. So let's say she's working, she's paying X amount per month. I'm co-signing, but if for example, she loses her job, anything happens, I can pay if she doesn't pay. That could be for the spouse. If they don't pay, I will pay it. As long as that's the rule, then you're protecting yourself, because where you get in trouble at is if you can't pay, if they don't pay. He told me he was going to pay it. He's missed 2 payments. Your credit doesn't get, no, they don't care. So you got to be willing to say that. This has to be a person that I'm willing to pay if they don't pay. That means I got to have that type of relationship with them. Or if I can't pay if they don't pay, I'm not co-signing, because I cannot depend on things that will go wrong. Life will happen. And then I'm sitting out here and my credit was 700, 750, 800. Now it's 620 because they missed 3 payments and I'm struggling to get this car back from them. Okay? Those are my hard rules on co-signing. I don't deviate from them. And those are typically rules that if you follow them, you're going to be safe. Okay? All right. Shoot the next question up, Dolan. Diana said, my brother asked me to co-sign. I told him, hell no. Listen, that's it. Listen, people will ask you to co-sign quick as, listen, people will ask you to co-sign like they just asking to borrow sugar. Hey man, can you co-sign this loan for me? No, listen. It takes a while to build up great credit, and it takes seconds to destroy it. Nicole from Facebook said, are you able to negotiate third-party restrictions in a new lease? So these are two separate things. The third-party restriction is the selling of the old car, not the new lease. We're not mixing these two. So we're going to, the people who work with me, you're selling your old car independent of the new deal. The new lease is its own transaction. We split everything we do into separate transactions. See, the car business has taught the public to give them up to 3 transactions. Buying a car from them is 1 transaction. Getting a loan from them is a 2nd transaction. Letting them buy your old car, which you call trade. We don't use that word. That's 3 transactions. There's money in each transaction. There's money in each. That's why there's companies that only want to give you loans. They don't sell cars. There's money in loans. There's companies that only want to buy your car. They don't care about selling your car right now. There's money in buying cars. So you need to separate these transactions if you want to maximize each. There's no way for you to save the most money without maximizing and looking at each part of your deal as its own separate transaction. So if I have a third-party restriction, I'm doing the equity assessment. A third-party restriction is, some of you have leases. We always need to see if there's any equity in our lease before we return it to the dealership. If you have returned your car to a dealership without doing the equity assessment, you don't know how much money you've left on the table. Because if there's $2,000 or $3,000 of equity in your car, the dealer's keeping that, and that's their money. So, or the bank's keeping it when they sell it, that's their money. It's probably the dealer will find a way to buy it, and it's their money. So when we look at an equity assessment, we're going to do it at all times. Now, there's no guarantee we have equity, but we want to guarantee we're not leaving equity on the table. And so a third-party restriction doesn't mean you can't sell a lease. Who didn't know you could sell a lease? Type a question mark. If that's new to you, this is your first time hearing this, you've been leasing, and you're like, Deshone, I never heard about selling leases. I had no idea this was a thing. Type a question mark if this is your first time hearing that you could sell a lease. Okay. Fish Guy Rodney. Okay. See, so more information is coming out. Okay. Fairy Godmother. Okay. Emil. Okay, I'm sorry. I just tore your name up. Sorry. So as you change Shamir on Instagram. So when we look at this, we got to see that the things that we don't know cost us money. So now it's like, once they saw people, because we helped out probably thousands of people in the pandemic sell their leases, used car values, resale values were crazy. So we had people making $5,000, $10,000, $12,000 selling their leases. I sold my Jeep Grand Cherokee lease. I made $8,900 after I drove it for 42 months because I extended the lease and then I sold it. My mother, she drove her car. She made $10,200. Now those numbers don't exist anymore because values have come back down. But there's still people who are going to make 3, going to make 2, going to make 4, depending on your car. Now, every car doesn't have equity. But when it comes to the third-party restriction, they don't say you can't sell. They limit who you can sell to. You must sell to a local used car dealer. To a local dealer of the same brand. So if you have an Audi, you must sell to an Audi dealer. we are still going to get bids. We're going to get at least 3 bids from used car managers at Audi dealers, because your car is not worth the same thing to every dealership. Your car may be worth 19 to this dealer, 19.8 to this dealer, 21 to this dealer, which is why we must get bids. Y'all gonna hear me say that word. Your favorite word, if you stick around and you use what I'm teaching, when you start mastering my strategies, your favorite words are gonna be bids, multiple offers, because that's how we save all the money. So okay, so that has to be handled, Nicole, separately. The selling of your car, the who I'm gonna sell that car to, you find that person first. Then you go shop for your replacement car. And then once you go sign that deal, you sell the car, you do it the same day, and you maximize both transactions. Okay? And all of this, guys, shouldn't take you any more than 90 minutes. This is not something that's going to take you hours. See, my whole thing is to show you how to get great deals in 60, 90 minutes from home. That's why my book is called Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can all get a copy for 75% off for the next 30 minutes. Just go to my TikTok bio. You won't leave the broadcast. Grab your copy before that timer hits 0. The price goes back up to $97. Or you can go to my Instagram bio, or click it if you're on Facebook or YouTube. Go to the comment section and you'll see a link to deshonsbook.com and grab your copy for 75% off before the timer expires. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next question out. Should I feel bad if I get 1.3? I'd only feel bad if I got 1.3 and if it was my only offer. If it was my only offer, or if I only got 2 offers, then yes, because I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you something. When I look at what I see, hold on. Okay, hold on. We saw Freener. Some of you saw Freener. That's 0.88. That's just ridiculous. 0.88. But look, Charles, he gets a Palisade. He's paying $48,000 vehicle. His best offer was $597 a month, 1.23. Now look at and sometimes people who are getting phenomenal, who are looking at cars that are super, super popular, they'll go a little further, and he reached out to 35 dealers. Now I want you to pay attention. Some of you, the average person only shops 2 dealers. My strategy is I teach 25 to 5. But once you see my copy and paste system, which is in my book, I have a copy and paste system where we're on their website. You'll see that I could talk to another 10 dealers. It only take me 10 minutes to open up contact with another 10 dealers. We always use a separate email. Do not contact dealers from your personal email. I'm warning y'all. It's not going to work. You're trying to go through your work email, and then you got your personal stuff, and then you're seeing the car dealers. Don't do it. Create a separate Google email, and that's how we do it. So he said, I reached out to 3,500 dealers, got 10 quotes back. So that $597 a month, 1.23 is the best out of 10. So so I always tell you, when you do it right, you're going to see offers that are $150 to $200 a month more. That's when you know you've exposed the 80%, and that's when you know you shopped the right way. If you don't see that type of spread minimum, you haven't shopped enough offers. So that's the only time I would feel bad, GKA, is if I didn't get at least 5 quotes, because I don't know if 1.3 was the best. I'm gonna tell you a funny story too, because Freena's in our coaching program, and Freena reached out and she said she was looking at a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Get ready for the next question, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I want to hammer this home so y'all understand the importance of multiple offers, and you don't get lazy, because the things I'm telling you might take another 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and they save your family $3,000. You can't put a price on. Well, you can put a price on that. So Freena was shopping for a Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. She comes to the group and she said, Deshone, this was the best offer on a Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. It was like 1.2 and change. But she said, the guy that made me this offer said he has this 4XE. It's a hybrid. And he said he could actually do better on that one. She said, what do you think I can? He told me what it would be. It would drop the price here. I said, if you're open to that, then you need to run your quotes again and get 5 more offers on that vehicle, because it may have a better lease program, in which case you need to open it up again. She opened it up again. That's how she got her 0.88% lease. So if she would have just said, well, this guy is getting me 1.1, I'm going to just take that, then she never would have found a 0.88. Multiple offers. That's probably $100 a month difference than what the last offer, $100 a month times 36 months on this lease. You're talking about $3,600. And she did it in minutes. Once y'all learn how to do this, it's minutes. This is not hours. I'm not spending more than 60 minutes on shopping for a car. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not spending time to decide what I want. But once I decide what I want, once you know what you want, 60 to 90 minutes to get the best deal. That's it. All right, shoot the next one up, Dolan. Keep the questions coming, y'all. We are live every day at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Well, not every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at noon and 3 p.m. So this is our live show. Okay. Throughout the day, though, you may see a broadcast and you'll know, okay, you'll still be able to get value because most of the people who are asking the questions on here are asking the same questions you would have asked. So go ahead, Dolan, shoot it out. This is Raymond from YouTube. How do you structure a lease? So the first thing you want to do is look at the car you're thinking about leasing, and we like to use a 1.25% formula estimate to see if we should be even looking at that car. Okay? So if I'm looking at a car that's $40,000, I'm doing a 1.25% estimate. I'm multiplying it by 0.0125. And then I'm going to see, 40,000. I'm multiplying that by 0.0125, and that comes out to 500. So that's going to tell me if I'm looking to be at 300, that's not the car that I'm going to be looking for in most cases. Now, we don't know if the best deal is going to be 1.25, but we're trying to estimate based on a bad deal is above 1.5. Anything above 1.5, we're overpaying for our lease. No money down. Money down comes later. Now, a steal is 1.1%. So I teach something in my book. It's called 1% is the steal. Between 1% and 1.5% is the deal. And then above 1.5% is time to chill. We don't do that. So that's the first thing. Now, once we move past that, now it's time to choose our mileage. So we're going to look at our lifestyle. We're going to see how much we drive to work, how much we're going to be driving the car. And once we come up with that, you're just doing some simple calculations. What's your round trip to work? 10 miles. How many days a week? 5 days. Okay, that's 500 miles a month. That's if you do the math. Let's say your trip to work is 20 miles round trip, and you do that 5 days a week. You're doing 100 miles a week to work. Times 52 weeks of the year, that's 5,200 miles. So I walk you through this in my book, but this is simple. 5,200 miles, and then you say, okay, well, I like to do a little leisure. I like to take a little trip down here. I go fishing, 1,000 miles away, blah, 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 blah. So you're calculating what you're going to do. The easiest way to do it is to look at your old car and see what you've done. But if you don't have an old car, this is how you calculate it. You come up with, all right, I only need about 9,000 miles a year. Perfect. All of our leases, we shop our offers with 12,000 miles a year. That's your average miles. That's what we want to base our formula from. So whenever we reach out to a dealer, we do this online. As I said, everything we do is online. Once we do this, we're shopping multiple dealers, and we're telling them, work us up a lease quote. First month's payment, total out of pocket. If you were on the last show earlier, we talked about we don't say down payment anymore. We say total out of pocket, TOP. Everybody who's clear on TOP, if you were on the last broadcast, type TOP. If you weren't, TOP is total out of pocket. That means only thing I'm giving you for this offer right now is my first lease payment, and I'm driving off. Total out of pocket. We're not saying down payments anymore. Okay? So now, we're structuring our lease with first month's total out of pocket, 12,000 miles per year, and that's how we're sending the offers out to the dealers. All online, all copy and paste. These are all templates I have, but I have templates where you just fill in what you want, blah, 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 all in my book. There are links, there's templates, but if you're going to do it your way, that's fine, but this is how you do it. And this is, you can sit in your computer and just copy and paste, and now you're looking to get 5 quotes. That is the mission. 5 quotes, and that's it. That's how we structure our leases. Once you're done and you get your best quote, now that's when you adjust your mileage. So once you identify the best dealer, the winning bid, now you're going to say to that dealer, hey, can you adjust the offer to 10,000 miles a year? Can you adjust it to 18,000 per year? Can you adjust it to 25,000 per year if you're a high mileage driver? And you adjust it from there. But that's it. You do this over and over, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. All right. Great question. Shoot the next one in, Dolan. All right. Shout out to the sharers. Thank you, Liba. I see you. Thank you so much. This one's from Preston on YouTube. What is the best way to finance a car out of state? It's no difference. It's really no difference. We're going to find the car. We're going to get the buyer's order. We're going to have them. Now, the thing about a used car, if it's a used car, we got to test drive the car. So what you may want to do is, if you're picking up a car out of state, you may want to go there, lock up the car, grab a cheap hotel for the night, stay there, because you don't want to eliminate the bidding process. The bidding process is your bank, your credit union, online banks bidding, and then dealers bidding. The dealer who you get the car from, they're bidding against that. Some of you don't really understand how much money is in finance. On a $40,000 loan, 2 points on an interest rate could literally be $2,500. So we got to understand there's a lot of money in loans. So if I'm driving to pick up a car out of state, what I'm typically going to do is go test drive that car. If I like it, I'm locking it up with a deposit. I'm taking that buyer's order. I'm gonna go back, depending on how far it is. If it's 3 hours away, I'm probably not gonna drive home and then come back. Depends on you. I'll probably just post up in a hotel. Go do my financing online. Let all these banks and credit unions run my credit so I can get their offers, and then I would call the dealership the next day and say, hey, this was my best offer. If you could beat it, I'll just come get it from you. And that's it. I'll spend $50, $60, $100 on a hotel to save $3,000, $2,000 on interest, on my interest rate. But everything else is the same. So we can't be scared to go out of state. If many of you who are using what I'm teaching, you're going to see. Look at Eddie. Who was Eddie who drove? Hold on. Short conversation. John, hold on. Market. Trying to think. I'll see many of who I'm going to share with you. You'll see, they'll say when they're picking up their car, I'm driving 45 minutes. I'm driving an hour and a half away. Look at Sean. Perfect example. Sean, he's also in our coach. Now, I don't want you to think, oh, I got to be in Deshaun's coaching program. There's just some people who are. The information's in the book. We got the video library. For those of you who are like, okay, I like videos to go along with the book. That's fine. I link you to some videos in the book. But then there's some people who coach with me, and I can talk personally to them. So Sean comes on here, and he comes into the group. He said, he sends this. Look at the amount. He said, I'm looking at some advice on this F-150 Lightning XLT. It's a $73,000 truck. The dealer discounted it $4,900 and then revealed that there was a $15,500 rebate. His total savings is over $20,000 off this truck. So I'm like, all right. Now me, being who I am, I don't know if that's the best. 2015, I sold 2 Maybachs. They had $20,000 rebates on them. So we don't know if this is the best. I haven't seen, this is what I said to him. I haven't seen the other offers yet, but I'm assuming you got at least 5. You're saving over $20,000 on this with this discount and rebate, but the only way to know is to compare to the other offers. See, I'm not going to get excited about this deal until he tells me what I'm about to read to you. That's when we get excited. He said, guess I could have put a little more info on here. Yes, I got about 15 quotes. You see the difference? This is what I want you to get. BK Dollar, this is what I want you to get. Liba, this is what I want you to get. Everybody watching, the money is in multiple offers. The reason why you're not saving, you're just not getting enough offers. So he says, I ended up expanding my search to 150 miles outside my area to find this deal. He said, I couldn't find, watch this, I couldn't find anything under MSRP in that first search. So think about how I'm telling you, the local dealers know when they see your zip code, they know, okay, some of them, all right, we don't have to do too aggressive. But those dealers that are an hour and a half away, when they see your inquiry, they're like, oh, listen, this is a person we never would have saw before. What is it going to hurt us to blow this truck out? And we take a deal from one of our competitors' markets. We'd love to see our license plate frame over in their market. That's how we win. So he ends up saving over $20,000, and he doesn't mind driving 150 miles to go get that truck. Why? Because every mile he drives is dollars he's picking up. We clear on that? We clear? If you're clear on the importance of multiple offers, type clear. All right, shoot the next one up, Dolan. Okay, this one's from Instagram. Atlanta's Black Gabriel, or Gabrielle. I think it's Gabriel, my fault. So, in the market for a new Chevy or used Chevy Malibu, what's the best route, leasing or financing? How many years are you keeping the car? If the answer is 8, then you should be buying. If it's at least 8, see, I teach something. My book is called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Save Time, Money, and Avoid Dealerships. Everything I do, when you go, the video library that we have, your best deal in 7 days, 7 steps. These are not going to change. The first step is the foundation to your deal. The first step is the foundation to your deal, which is lease or buy. Because you cannot get a good deal if you bought when you should have leased. It's impossible. Because the amount of money you're going to pay on the purchase is going to be too much if you buy brand new. And if you buy pre-owned, it's going to be about the same amount you'll pay. So when you buy, if you're not keeping your car 8 years and you buy a used car, 3-4 years old, and then you trade it in 5 or 6 years, you're going to pay the same amount or even a little more than someone who got a great lease deal and drove brand new vehicles. So it's all about how many years you're keeping the car. If you're keeping the car, if you're like Deshone, there's no way I'm keeping the car 8 years. That's not my style. Then you should be shopping from this day forward for aggressive lease deals. Now, once you find a car that you love, or if your spouse says, you know what, I don't switch cars like that. I keep a car 8, 10, 12 years. Then we purchase for them. We're going to purchase. But for those who are not keeping their cars 8 years, you are losing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars not leasing cars. Thousands, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. All right? That's the 8-year rule. It's the most important question. It's the first thing you ask when you are car shopping and you're ready to car shop. How many years am I keeping this car? 8 or less, we lease. Less than 8, we lease. More than 8, we buy. That's how we avoid the depreciation. So go ahead. It's a hard rule. You want a follow-up question to that, or anybody want to? Because I know some of you are like, Deshone, I was taught never lease. Whatever. You want to follow up to that question? That's perfectly fine. But that's the rule. And it's the rule based on money. I've seen thousands of scenarios, and I spend years and all my time shouting from the hills so people could understand how much money they're losing by not getting good lease deals or not leasing at all. Okay, go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan. Okay, this one's from TikTok. All right, Peyton. Do dealerships finance used cars too? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. But we don't finance, dealers are our last offer for financing, never our first. So what you should do is you should go watch the replay from earlier, episode 3. This is episode 4 of Car Shopping Questions and Answers. We do these lives Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday 12 p.m. Eastern time and 3 p.m. Eastern time. For those of you who are like, because I want you to be able to tell your friends. Today, some of you are going to run into people who are car shopping. You need to be telling them, hey, you got to check this guy, Deshone the Auto Advisor. He does this show, live show, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. But you want to watch episode 3 where we went into detail about how we don't find it. In fact, earlier, I think we talked about it early on this episode. Your financing should be independent from the dealer. The dealer should be your last offer for financing. Because what you're asking for, that's 2 transactions. You're giving them 2 transactions of business. You're giving them the purchase of a car, and then you're giving them the selling you of your loan. So what we do is we separate these transactions and we get bids for each. So the only way I'm dealing with a dealer, the only way you're going to be dealing with a dealer is if they've won the bid, which means if I'm looking for a used car, you won the bid out of all the used cars. Like, all right, give you an example. This is Vincent. Vincent got a 3-year-old Lincoln Corsair, premium trim level, under 45,000 miles, clean Carfax, inspection, all from the comfort of home. I'm reading what he put in our group. He was targeting to find a discount of 30 to 35% from the MSRP. This is something that no one is teaching you guys about what you need when you're purchasing a used car. If you're going to be purchasing a used car in the future, or your next car, or if you bought a used car in the past, type the letter U. Type the letter U. If you're going to be purchasing a used car, or if you have purchased a used car in the past, I'm about to give you something that you have never heard before, but it is no way for you to know you got a great deal until you start talking the way Brandon talks here. You notice he said 30, he was targeting to find something 30 to 35% from the MSRP. In order for us to know, I see you, Shelby. I see you, Emma. I see you, Katarina. I see you, Raymond. Okay, perfect. Atlanta's Black Gate. All right, a lot of people. Okay, so when you are shopping for a used car, let me tell you a story, give you an example, all right? So I was shopping for my pre-owned Infiniti truck 3 months, a little over a year ago. I narrowed it down to 3. Now, I narrowed it down based on title history, service records, accident history. We talked about this in the last episode, episode 4. Title history, service record, episode 3 rather. You can see it on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and please hit the like button. It matters because that shows the algorithm that we talking business over here, that more people need to be here. So when I narrowed this down now I get to, like, I think I narrowed it down to my top 4. They were all white. They're all within 30, they're all within $1,500 of each other. Now, here's the problem. This is where it gets complex for you. Because I'm looking at one that they're asking 30,000 and change, one they're asking 31,000, one they're asking 31,800. You know, they're all within $1,500, $2,000 of each other. Similar miles. On the outside, they all look similar. Without knowing, I created something called the true value percentage. What is the true value percentage? It's not what the website says is a good deal. It's the percentage off of what the vehicle was when it was brand new. So I pulled the window sticker for each of these vehicles. I pulled the window sticker, and what do I see? Now I teach you how to do this in my book. I teach you this entire process, but I'm walking you through it. Exactly. I pull the window sticker. You can get it from Carfax, depending on if Carfax has a deal with that manufacturer. Carfax has window stickers. Now, what do I see? One car is 46,000 when it was brand new. Now they're asking 31 and change. Okay. One car is 48 when it was brand new. They're asking 31 and change. One car was 52 and one car was 54.5. That's the one I got. So you see how in one instance we were confused. You would be confused. You sitting here like, yeah, Deshone, that's hard because they all look the same. They all similar price. How do we know? Once we find out the original MSRP, not only do we find out what the original equipment is that's in the vehicle, which is helpful. I wanted to know this is an edition 30, got all these special features. That's helpful to know too. But more important than that even is to know that that car was a $54,500 car that they were asking $31,800 for, which means I got a 42% discount. That is something we created called the true value percentage. And that's how we make sure we choose the right used car when we're ready to pick the final one. This is what we do here, y'all. If you this is why, like, this is why we've been blessed, because God knows we're giving you the information you need to win with. So all of this is in my new book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. If you want it all in one place, you can watch the show. You can watch my free social media videos. I got hundreds of them. Or you can say, Deshone, I'm going to get this it's 75% off in my TikTok bio. It's normally $97, but you can get yours for 75% off. And you can get it in my Instagram bio, or if you're on Facebook or YouTube, click the comment section and click that button that says Deshone's book and get you 75% off for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, price goes back to $97. So, all right, but that's the true value percentage. And that these are the things that we never buy a used car ever without looking at the true value percentage. So when you saw what he said when he bought that Lincoln, as he was targeting to get something 30 to 35% off MSRP, and he ended up getting one for 43%. So that's what you need to know. Go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan. Great questions today. All right, Raymond on YouTube. Does it make sense to buy an existing lease? So when you're buying a lease, all you're doing is buying a used car. That's how you got to look at it. It's a used car. It's just, it may be your car. If you're buying your lease out, it's a very different. See, what I see most times is people want to buy their lease because they don't know how to shop. Because there's deals out here. We've been making deals since the pandemic. I started our video library. We started that in 2021, November. Middle of the pandemic, when people were paying ridiculous prices over with some, the 80%, they were cashing the biggest check they've ever cashed in their lives. Like in their lives, they were like, and we were getting deals all since then. Felicia came in. She was our first person in our program who got a BMW. She saved $1,950 January 2022. And so we when you get bids, you reveal. That's why we don't pay attention to nothing out there. I don't care what anyone says, what any dealer says does not matter to me. That does not matter, because I know that if we got deals all through the pandemic, oh, forget it. That's why this market, we're killing it even more. So, you know, if you're buying your lease because you're keeping it another 8 years, you say, man, Deshone, I used to lease, but you know what? I really want to buy something that I could keep for 8, 9, 10 years. Then sure, buy the lease. But if you're not doing that, then you're moving from a lease mindset, which is I'm driving great cars, brand new cars, always under warranty in most cases, latest and greatest features, low payments, pennies on a dollar compared to people buying. That's a whole value system. That's mindset right there. These are the people who are shopping for a lease. These are the benefits of leasing. And then you're moving and saying, all right, I'm going to buy a used car now. Very different, very different. So you got to be, you have to have had a change in mindset and goals to buy your lease and buy a used car. And it's never, what I see most times is people just don't know how to shop. When you use what I'm teaching you to shop, get 5 offers, you're going to see there's deals everywhere. Everywhere. Go ahead. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. You can't pay me to negotiate your lease because I do this in 90 minutes and I'm teaching you to fish. You know, I've had people who used to buy cars from me. Hold on, keep that question up from Nicole, but I saw this person on TikTok. I'm not in the business I'm in the business of teaching people how to fish. So, you know, because what happens is you're building a trust in something. Like if you're not willing to learn what it takes to do this in 90 minutes from home, like I'm teaching you, then you are the same type of person. That same mindset will lead you to go into dealers because you're just lazy and scared. Now, I'm not saying that's you. I'm warning you to not let that be you. I'm warning you you can't pay me enough. I'm not in that business. I'm in the business of helping people all around the country. It don't matter what you pay. Of course I don't think you would ever, You even asked me to work for free. I'm telling you though, that's not the business I'm in, because we can help thousands of people all around the country. But you're not realizing that your transaction is a 5-figure transaction. There's nothing else in this world that you're going to give that type of control. If you were going to start a business and it was going to take a $30,000 decision, $30,000 of your money, would you ever be looking and saying, oh, could you do this for me? You see, we do things with cars because we've been programmed to do them with cars. Car dealers have made you so scared that you've been programmed to do something, but you never do it with anything else. You never do it with a house. You wouldn't say, hey, I'll pay you to get my house for me. I'll pay you to, start this business for me. No, it's only cars. So when you realize that this stuff is easy, that old way of going into dealers and going back and forth, see, you're thinking of the old way. You're thinking, oh, I need somebody to tag along with me. Yeah, I got Deshone sitting over there next to me. I wouldn't be there because I'm at home. Where you see me at, where you see me at is exactly where I got my Infinity truck. I just told you about the deal. Where you see me at is exactly where I get my cars from. I sit right here, and all the people who got my Cars from Home book, who are in the Cars from Home video library, they're all right here. Some of them in the airport buying cars. Some of them at their desk at work making deals on cars. Nobody who's learning from me is in a dealership making deals on cars. So that's the old way. And if you think that you got to unlearn that or you can't win with me, you got to scrap that. I know it's painful. I know it sucks. I know it makes you feel like you're a loser. But that's why I'm telling you, scrap that joint and do it my way. And when you do it my way, you're going to be like, oh, shoot, man, how the heck wasn't I shopping like this years ago? All right. So now Nicole on Facebook. Do you shop or negotiate differently for a car that is low in inventory or shortage? No. Now, the only difference is, let's say, and this is the reason why we connect with 25 dealers. See, in my book, I said we use the 25 to 5. We got to connect with 25 dealers. This takes us 20 minutes because we're using a copy and paste system. So if you're going to all of these Chevrolet websites and copy and pasting in their contact box, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Now, what you're doing is you're shopping out of all those dealers' inventories. So if you only do this with 4 dealers, then you only see one dealer who has a car. And they're like, oh, well, we it doesn't seem like it's a lot of these cars out here. That's why we're connecting with 25. You saw Sean, he connected with 35. And so when we connect with these dealers, we're not just doing it to get bids. That's one reason. But we also know out of all these 25 dealers, probably 10 of them have a car that matches what I would want. And then I'm going to give 5 to 7 offers. So now let's just say we're at a mid period where the 2024s are sold out and the 2025 hasn't come in yet. Now what's going to happen is all of those dealers out of the 25, maybe 2 of them have a car, and they're going to tell you, you know what, you really need to order it. That's not because it's a low inventory. That's because you're usually in between model years, and the old one has sold out, and the new ones, they're waiting for it to come in. But it doesn't change the way we shop. And sometimes we will order. If I'm purchasing, I'm more likely to order because I'll get bids, and then I'll take the car. But if I'm leasing, we're less likely to order because we don't know what the lease program is going to be. See, I could get a dealer that discounts the car for me $3,000. We had a person in our group, and they were getting a new BMW X4, the X4M, like the performance edition. We had a dealer, their best bid, the dealer was taking off $3,000 off MSRP. So, but the lease program is what we didn't know. And once the car came and they put the lease program on it, we saw that it was over 1.5%. So even at that discount, wow, we saved $3,000. Now, if she was purchasing it, that's a win. $3,000 off, beat everybody else. So I don't mind ordering if I'm purchasing. But on a lease, I'm less likely to order because I don't know what the lease program is going to be until the car gets here. Okay, but yeah, that the process doesn't change. It just we have little caveats based on on low inventory. Okay, process is the same. Nothing changes our 7-step process. Nothing. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. All right, great questions today. We got Jermaine, Facebook. So how do you transition out of a finance into a lease? Instagram, y'all not asking a lot of questions to. All right, hold on. Get blooming chosen one. All right, hold on. All right, Jermaine from Facebook says, how do you transition out of a finance to a lease? All right, perfect. So now what I like about this question, Jermaine, is you've already answered the most important question, which is how many years am I keeping the next car? That's step one in our 7-step system. You've already answered that because you've determined I should be leasing. Now the next step is equity assessment. Equity assessment. Call the bank. You don't have to worry about third-party restrictions or nothing because you're not leasing. I mean, you're not coming out of a lease, rather. So you're going to call your bank, get your payoff. You're going to take 20 minutes, go on CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation Sell My Car, Car Guru Sell My Car. Get those 6 offers. That's going to tell you if you have equity, break even, or if you have negative equity. That's your next step. Don't do anything else until you do that. Okay? See, we always have to account for our current asset before we start moving forward. What happens if he has $3,000 in equity? That means he has $3,000. He could either apply towards his next deal, or he could put that money in his bank account and, maybe he leases the next car with no money out of pocket. So equity assessment always comes, even before we budget, before we plan our mileage, before we do anything, equity assessment is what we do. All right? All right, shoot that next one up. Shoot that one up from Instagram if you got it, Dolan. It might have took you a minute, but because we got it's comments from everywhere, y'all. No matter. Okay, here we go. For your calculator, why doesn't it negotiate to the lowest offer? My calculator is the best. My calculator is the best thing that exists because it takes all the offers you get. By the way, y'all, what she's talking about. And you got to be specific because I do have multiple calculators that I've created in my book, multiple softwares where you plug in stuff and it spits out so one of the calculators that I have is the counter offer calculator. So we never accept a deal until we send a counter. So what we do is we take the counters. We take all the offers we get, we plug them into my calculator. Whether it's a lease or whether it's several types. One is for leasing, one is for cash purchases and financing. Now, when you're financing, you're always getting your deals with tax and everything included, all in. So what it does is it takes all the offers, you plug them in, and then it spits out which one is the best, and it counters everyone based on the best offer. So let's just say a dealer says, I'm going to do a 1.1% lease. And then this dealer says 1.2, this dealer says 1.3, 1.5. It's not countering all the high offers based on their high offers. It's countering all the offers based on the lowest offer. Because if the 1.1% lease was presented to us, that means any of the dealer could have did it. So now we're calling out the 80% and letting them know that if this dealer offered me 1.1%, then you all could have done it too. You're just choosing not to do it, in which case that's what the 80% do. So we counter every single one. We even counter the lowest one. And some people in the group will say, Deshone, man, this dealer is the lowest, man. Should I be countering them for another $50 less? I say you must counter. Because you don't know if there's another $10, $50, $20. If you don't counter until a person tells you there's no more room, even if they're the lowest, that's not the best deal. So sometimes you counter the lowest offer, and the lowest offer will be like, listen, man, I gave you my best shot. I got nothing else. We know they're telling the truth because we got 4 or 5 other offers that are much higher than that. Sometimes they'll be like, listen, I can't do that $50. I'll get you another $10. That's the best I got. We know they're telling the truth because all the other offers are a whole lot higher. So that's the way the counter offer calculator works. It's gold. It's gold. So all right, we had an hour and 19 minutes. We try to keep these broadcasts about an hour and 15. Every now and then we go a little over, but listen, y'all, we are live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday 12 p.m. Mark your calendars. 12 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I'm hoping to, in the next couple of days, have a link in my bios so that people will be able to actually go to our calendar, put a reminder, but you know it. 12 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And this whole broadcast is sponsored by, if you just jumped on, I'm the creator. I'm the author of the book, the digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get it for 75% off. It's normally $97. But if you, as long as you get there before the timer hits 0, you can get it for $24 in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, or you could go to deshonsbook.com in the comment section on YouTube or Facebook. Get your copy for 75% off. I'm also the creator of the Cars from Home video library, and I've coached over probably 1,500 people now since 2021. So we've been doing this. Everything I'm teaching you is proven. And I'm going to tell you, just like I tell my coaching students, when you get my book, see, I don't do questions and answers for my book, y'all. See, there's people who DM me. First of all, I don't even see DMs. The reason why I can't do question and answers because there's no other author that does it. So I make myself available probably more than anybody. But when you buy the book, trust the process. If you don't see me say do it, don't do it. Do everything I say do. I tell everybody, even if they're in my coaching programs, you must trust the process that I'm giving you, and you got to unlearn your old process. Don't even think about your old process. Use my process, and I'll lead you to where you want to be at. Guaranteed. All right, so get your copy. I will see y'all all on the next broadcast. Tell your friends. Welcome to the new followers. Welcome to the new subscribers on YouTube. I appreciate y'all. We'll be back for episode 5. God bless you.
The worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome everybody to Wednesday, 12 noon car shopping Q&A. This is episode 5. We do these live shows 12 p.m. We're not going to usually be doing Wednesday, but I said, you know what? Let's throw in a special 12 p.m. Wednesday. So we are actually live. I know some of you may watch the broadcast because we do rebroadcast these lives, but this is actually live, and we're going to be talking and taking questions right now. So as you come in, if you could hit the share button and tag a friend. I'm just getting us up on TikTok right now. I got to make sure I keep people out who are under 18. So come on in. I'm going to share this. If you don't know me, if this is your first time seeing a show with me, type the number 1. Type the number 1 if this is your first time. Welcome back to people who have been here with us in the past or on previous shows. My name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. I spent 14 years in the car business, 5 years with Mercedes, 5 years with General Motors. And now what I do is I show people who want to learn how to car shop from home and how to save more money from home than they're ever going to save in a dealership. So I'm the author of the book, the digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And I'm also the creator of the Cars from Home video library, which is a step-by-step video platform. But anyone who's on here for the next 30 minutes, you can get a copy of my new book, Cars from Home, in my TikTok bio at 75% off. It's normally $97, but for 30 minutes, you can get it in my TikTok bio for 75% off, Instagram bio for 75% off. or you can go to deshonsbook.com in the Facebook comments or in the YouTube comments. But let's get busy. Get your copy for 75% on everything I'm going to be talking about on this show. Once again, this is live. It's Wednesday. This is a 12 p.m. noon show. So for those of you who may have seen the broadcast, this is actually live. So we can start typing our questions in. And my man Dolan's going to pull those questions in as you guys type them. And we're pulling questions from TikTok. We're pulling questions from Instagram. Shout out to TikTok. Y'all can start typing your car shopping questions. And let's get busy. What's up, Mike? What's up, Fancy Girl? What's going on, Crows fam? I see you back. Good to see you. What's up, Manly Snacks? Good to see everybody coming in on TikTok. And as you come in on TikTok, can you all start tapping the screen? If you're going to spend 10, 15 minutes with us, start tapping the screen, shooting those likes up. And then my man Dolan is going to bring in the first question when y'all type it. So Instagram, make sure y'all typing. Sometimes Facebook and YouTube, we notice y'all are a little slow. We need y'all to get a little faster because TikTok always types their questions fast. And Instagram usually types their questions fast, but Facebook, y'all got to get a little faster with y'all questions. So we know that y'all going to step up today and start getting your questions in. All right. I see one that came in from JC. You want to pull that one up, Dolan? On YouTube? Okay. Our best deals, are they made from the comfy confines of our home? Or should we hammer it out at the dealership going toe-to-toe, jab for jab with the salesman, finance, and sales managers? Well, you have no leverage when you're face-to-face with someone. And leverage is what gets you good deals. Leverage is what, we up to 500 likes on TikTok already. Shout out to y'all. Keep tapping the screen. Appreciate y'all. And tag a friend. Everybody bring your friends over. They need this just as much as you do. So what JC from YouTube just asks is it better? He's basically saying, am I gonna lose something by not being in the dealership face to face with a car salesman? You know, am I losing something? And it's a good question, but you're losing something by being there. And let me explain why. You're losing something by being there because your leverage in a negotiation, it comes from you talking to other people and having other offers. Let me give you a real example so that you can really understand that. When people are negotiating for your business, you're going to save the most money without trying. You go into the supermarket. Do you have to try to find the best deal on laundry detergent? Do you have to try to find the best deal on anything, spaghetti sauce? No. Why? Because companies are actually hoping that you look and see that they're the best deal. Hey, look, we're on sale this week. Hey, look, choose us. They're trying to get your attention. They realize they're competing with all these other brands and they don't mind. So even with the TV, I always use a TV for example. If you go out to buy a TV right now, is anybody on here worried about overpaying for a TV in 2024? Anybody? And I always want to remind people, as you new people come on, this is live. This is Wednesday, our 12 p.m. live call. So our 12 p.m. live show. So you can ask your questions. This is not our rebroadcast. So what is anybody on here worried about overpaying for a TV? Anybody? No. Why is that? Because you already know that companies are competing to sell you a TV. Sony, TCL, Samsung, all of these companies are competing. Therefore, you know you're not gonna overpay. That's what we bring to car buying. In a nutshell, y'all, if I can wrap up what I'm trying to show you with Cars From Home, the reason why my brand is called Cars From Home, my book is called Cars From Home, my library is called Cars. The reason is because it's a mindset. It's a mindset. You're bringing the same mindset you would bring to shop for your TV to cars. And you don't overpay. You don't have anybody on here worried about having buyer's remorse for the TV. Look, Fancy Girl, Kiki, no. Look, RJ Newscom, no. Look, look, Patrice on Instagram, no. So no one on here is worried about overpaying for any of these items that years ago, we used to be worried about overpaying for TVs, but not anymore. So when you start staying at home and getting multiple offers and kill your programming that the car business has programmed you into thinking that you need to go in, then you're going to see how much money you save quicker. Okay? Who's not a good negotiator? As you come on, I want y'all to answer this question. Who's not a good negotiator? I see you, Yayo. I see you. Okay, I see you, Fun Times. Welcome, Tone Bud. Who's not a good negotiator? Just type me if you're just, Deshone, it's not my thing. I'm not really, look, Crow's fan. No, I'm not. What's up, Tom? Julia? So all of these, look, John C. on Facebook. No. William on TikTok. No. All of these people are not yet. Danny on Instagram. So what I want to tell y'all is you no longer have to think you need to be a good negotiator to win with buying cars. You're going to start making people negotiate with each other. And that's multiple offers. So if you're buying your next car and it's a new car, you're going to get at least 5 offers from 5 different dealers. And if you're leasing your new car, you're going to get at least 5 offers from 5 different dealers while you're at home. And if you're buying a used car, you're going to stay at home. You're going to look at the entire used car market on all the marketplaces. I teach 8 marketplaces. You need to be everywhere a used car is. These are like if you were buying a TV, to continue to use that example, you wouldn't just be on Walmart.com, but not be on Amazon. You wouldn't skip Best Buy. You wouldn't skip PC. Wherever there's a TV, you would be. It's the same thing. And y'all are going to save more money than you've ever saved, easier. This is how you take control and have your confidence, and you are empowered. Okay? So that's the answer to your question, JC. You don't lose by being at home making dealers bid. You lose by being in dealers going one-on-one. Okay, great question. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. All right, this one is Mr. Martinez on TikTok. Do they require a credit check with the request? Now, that's a good question. They'll make you think they do. Whenever somebody requests your credit for a quote, just know that that's a tactic. This is why you don't want to be in dealers talking. Remember this rule. Never talk numbers for a car in the dealership. Okay? Never talk numbers in the dealership. You want to only test drive the car. Now, it's a little different with a used car. New cars, leases, never talk numbers in the dealership because you have no leverage there. It's continuing to go back. You have no leverage inside the dealership. Now, when you are requesting your quote, you're going to the dealership site. In my book, my book is called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Everything that I'm teaching y'all is out of one of those 7 steps. Now, when you get to the point where you're getting offers, we're not using third-party websites because dealers pay for those leads. We don't want dealers paying any extra money to a company to get in touch with us. We want to go direct to dealers' websites. This takes 20 minutes. If you do it my way, you're going to the dealers' websites. In my book, I have a link to the dealers, each brand. You put your zip code in and it'll pull up all the dealers. Now, as you go to these dealers' websites, you're doing a copy and paste. Copy and paste. And now, what are we saying in that first message? What we want, what we're looking for, when we can purchase. We're not talking about numbers yet. We just want to see who has a car. Now, once we see who has a car, now my strategy that I like you to start using, and some of you who have my book, you've used it already, is the 25 to 5. 25 to 5 is when you're connecting with 25 dealers online, and the goal is to get 5 offers. So, and the reason why we get 5 offers is because 80% are overpriced. So 4 of those 5 offers are usually going to be overpriced. That's when you know you did it right. So when we're getting our quote request, one dealer might say, I can't do it without credit. One of the things we say when we're requesting quotes for a lease is assume tier 1. Now, for those of you who are purchasing, not leasing, you're going to request quotes all in, taxes, fees, everything in. Now, there are people who are going to try to knock you off your game. Some of you know, if you have my book, I have scripts for everything they're going to say, because I used to have to use these templates. You're going to hear stuff like, oh, we need you. When can we get on the phone? Can we just have a quick phone call? My script for that is, I'm going to be handling my whole process from home. I'm only going to be talking to the person who actually makes the best offer. And then you always end with a question. So you will always ask. You never want to end your communication online just end with a statement, because they're trying to get you on their agenda. You're trying to keep them on our agenda, which is, you're either going to let me know what car you have. Do you have a car that matches what I want? Second, once I confirm you have a car that matches what I want, can you give me an offer for it? That's what we want. And everything we do is to stay on that agenda. Does that make sense? When you're leasing and you're buying new cars, you have to have an agenda, because, again, I'm trying to teach you, I want you shopping with strategy. I've been doing this, helping people since 2021. We've helped over 8,000 people, probably 6,000 with my book, another 2,000 with our video program. So this we know works. I'm not telling you something that I'm hoping works for you. You just have to do it. But what you're going to have to do is stick to the agenda and realize that my only two purposes is to find out, does a dealer have a car that matches what I want? And can you make me an offer on it? That's it. And now I have scripts in my book that do that. For all of you who just came on, this whole show is sponsored by my new book, Cars from Home. And you can get your copy for 75% off. It's normally $97. It's a digital book, because I need to update it as things change in the market. And if you got a print book, if I printed a book and now I mailed you a book, now you got the book and it works now, but when you go to use it a year from now, some things may change, some websites may change and whatnot. Now you got to buy another book. So this book is a one-time, you get upgrades as I upgrade it, and I probably updated it at least 4 times since I launched it. So get your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio, but you only got 30 minutes. Once 30 minutes passes, it goes back up to $97, which is still a great price, by the way, because you're going to save thousands of dollars using it in my Instagram bio and my TikTok bio. So you're never getting to the point, Mr. Martinez, where you are giving a person an opportunity to run your credit, because everything you're doing is at home requesting information. So as long as you get into the business of being at home, writing and requesting prices, and seeing which dealer is going to offer you the car for the best price, you're never going to be in a position where you need to be giving your credit, because there's no reason. And if you give your credit, you really fell for the game, because now they locked you into them, which is the goal. So no reason for everybody, no reason to give credit to give somebody our credit to get an offer. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Next one. Type your questions. I see a lot coming in from Instagram. I'm in the dealership right now. Vital on Instagram. Keep that up, Dolan. Vital just said I'm in the dealer right now. Now, if you're there negotiating, then you're never going to get the best deal. You're never going to get the best deal. Understand, y'all, I'm not playing games. For those of you who don't understand what we really do here, like, this is Greg right here. Greg used our strategies. He got a $56,000 Kia EV6 win. He got it for $527 a month on his lease, no money down. That's through bids. That's not through negotiations. Danielle's lease, $44,000 Audi A3. She got it for $550 a month, no money down. You know, this is on a purchase here. Sean bought. And some of you may have these cars and look at your payments and you're going to say, Dag, Deshone, I got that same car, man, and I ain't get that price. That's why I'm trying to tell you to listen. And like, we're not regular here. And sometimes I think, like, I'm not the public. I could be in the car business making $200,000-$300,000 a year if I wanted to. This is not God's plan for me. I'm trying to give you the game but you got to understand who I am. This ship has sailed. We've been doing this for thousands of people since 2021. If you just now here and you just finding me and you haven't used my stuff yet, like, you missed it, but understand, don't keep missing it. This Sean, he got this F-150 Lightning XLT, $73,000 truck, brand new truck. He saved over $20,000 getting bids my way. And the people who learn from me, they're never going back to the old way. They never going back to negotiating and deals. It only take one time for you to use what I'm telling you and see how quick you buy cars and see how much money you save to realize, oh shoot, I'm never going back to that old way of car shopping again. All right. So if you want to do it, you need to leave that dealership. Unless you're just there to test drive, that's different. So Instagram. Considering leasing a car, but feels like it will keep me constantly having a car payment if I choose to keep leasing at the end. Could you please explain the strategy to leasing versus financing? Absolutely. So when you're leasing, so this is a great question. Somebody said, look, if I lease, I'm going to always have a car payment. That's absolutely true. And so there's two totally different ends of the spectrum, y'all, when we look at how we acquire cars and get the best deals on them. One is a lease. My goal is to drive a new car, always under warranty in most cases, except if I'm a high mileage driver. I'm paying pennies on the dollar compared to somebody purchasing, like that same car that Greg got. He's paying $527 a month. That same vehicle would be, it's a $56,000 car. That same vehicle will be $1,000 a month on the car note, at least on a 6-year car note. So I'm paying pennies on the dollar. I just had somebody today, he's going to pick up a brand new Kia Telluride. He got a payment of in the 400 range of $42,000 Kia Telluride. Once he negotiated it, he decided he was going to put $2,500 down because he wanted his payment where it was. But he already had a ridiculously low payment. It was like a 1.1% lease deal on a Kia Telluride. I told him, I said, you know that same Kia Telluride, $42,000, that would cost about $800 a month to purchase? He said, yeah, I know. I used to buy one. I used to buy mine. He actually had one. It got totaled. So he knows how much he was putting into that vehicle before he actually figured out he's not an 8-year person. So if you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you should be shopping for aggressive lease deals because it's pennies on the dollar. And we shop with bids because it's easy. It's fun. We're in control. And that's the way we do it. Now, the other side of the spectrum are long-term vehicles that are going to be what we call a keeper. If anybody who has a keeper in their household, type a K. If you have a vehicle in your household right now that you've had for more than 8 years, type a K. Type a K. Type a K. As you come in, y'all, if you're on Instagram, could y'all hit that paper airplane? It looks at the bottom of the screen. It allows you to share this broadcast with your friends. And could everyone who shares, could you share this broadcast? It does help. It matters. And I'm never going to stop asking for it. And I'm never going to stop appreciating the people who share. I appreciate you guys. And your friends will appreciate you more than anything, more than even I appreciate you. When you tag a friend who doesn't know me and they're car shopping, they'll appreciate you more than even I appreciate you. So, okay, all right. So we got John on on Facebook. We got Michael. We got hold on, let me see. Acura MDX. Rob Korn got an Acura MDX on Instagram. He's had it 195,000 miles. So these are what we call Derek on TikTok, Donald on TikTok. These are what we call keepers. These are vehicles that, again, someone asked a question about understanding if I always have a car payment, if I lease, can we please explain the strategy of leasing versus financing? I just told you the benefits of leasing. Now, all those benefits come at a price. Now, the other side of the spectrum is the long-term keeper vehicle where now we have outlived depreciation because the unseen expense is the one that's killing you. The unseen expense is depreciation. When you buy your car today for $30,000, tomorrow it's not worth $30,000, right? Tomorrow. You can buy a car today for $30,000 and bring it back to the dealer tomorrow. They're not just giving you your $30,000. You've lost money in 1 day. That's depreciation. Now you can sit that car outside your house and you can have that car, you don't drive it 1 mile. You never even touched it. And you go out there and a year later, is it worth 30,000? No, right? You never told, but Deshone, I didn't even drive it. But you understand, it's not worth 30,000 anymore. It sat there for a year. Now it's probably worth 24,000. That's depreciation. So some of you have been trained to think, oh, well, I buy my cars because I don't want to pay for the mileage. What I'm trying to get you to understand is when you understand depreciation, you're going to see not only do you pay for the mileage, whether you buy or lease, you pay for the car whether you drive it or not when you buy. Does that make sense? Type clear if y'all are clear so far on this, on these principles. Because it's bad information that's been fed to you for all these years that, oh, you know what? I like to drive as much as I want. Oh, I like to do everything and I don't want to pay for mileage, so I'm going to buy. But what you're seeing now is, oh, shoot. If I drive no miles, my car's worth less. If I drive average miles, my car's worth even less. If I drive high miles, my car's worth even less. Depreciation. It's the unseen expense. So now our goal with purchasing the right way and picking whether I'm going to shop for great lease deals or whether I'm going to be a long-term keeper is to avoid where the depreciation loses us the most money. The most money. Look, right here, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you're losing the most money. This is when you don't want to have bought your car and replaced it, because you're losing thousands and thousands of dollars every year. And now many of you have been taught it's okay to switch cars while you're in here, dropping. But going back to the keepers know, all right, I'm switching cars when my value is like this, my depreciation. So all of you who said out there that you got a car that you've had for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, now you're gonna, here's what proves to you what I'm saying is true. The keepers, which is why I'm trying to get you guys out of that middle, all you 3, 4, 5 year people, 6 year, 7 year people that do not lease. You don't keep your cars long enough to outlive this depreciation, but you don't lease. You're losing the most money by far, thousands and thousands of dollars every car you buy in resale value, because you flip cars, try to trade them in while you just lost thousands and thousands of dollars. So on the other end, those of you who said, Deshone, I got a keeper outside, if that car today is worth $5,000, a year from now, it's probably going to be worth $4,800. That means you're no longer losing value like this. You're only losing value little by little, and you've outlived the depreciation. So your goal when understanding should I lease or buy is like, Deshone, okay, how do I avoid this? Well, if you're not keeping your car 8 years, you should be shopping for leases. Everyone who told you otherwise was wrong. I'm not going to say they were malicious, but they were incorrect. And unfortunately, I call them confidently incorrect. Dangerous. Dangerous. Being confident and incorrect is dangerous to you and others and everyone who's going to listen to you. So I'm telling you the truth based on numbers, that shopping for lease deals is here. If I'm not keeping my cars 8 years, I need to be shopping for great lease deals. If I'm going to keep my car more than 8 years, then I'm going to purchase and I'm going to make sure I get a car that's going to last 8+ years so that I can outlive the depreciation and win with long-term ownership. But I'm not stuck in the middle. Clear? Clear? Everybody clear before we move to the next question? JC said, my man hitting on all cylinders. I appreciate you, man. This is what we do, man. I've been doing this since 2006, man. I'm not new to this. I've been helping people save money on cars and make dealers bid for their business since 2021. And that's what I'm known for. Here in New Jersey, people know when I had my brokerage, Deshone is the person that helps people save money if you listen to him. If you don't listen to me, God bless you. I wish you the best. All right, so for all of you, cue the next question up, y'all. For all of you who just jumped on, this whole show is sponsored by my new book. Everything I teach is out of my new book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's normally $97, but as part of our launch, you can get your copy for 75% off. It's a digital book. It'll be in your inbox in literally 3 minutes. And if you're on TikTok, you won't leave the broadcast, so you don't have to wait until the show is over to click the link in my bio, get your copy, and then you can come back and listen to the rest. Same thing on Instagram. And we got something in the comments for Facebook and YouTube. You guys can click the comment section, or if you're watching us on television, you can scan the QR code with your phone. All right, let's go, Dolan. Shoot that next one up, brother. Let's keep these questions coming, y'all. Keep typing them. And again, we're live right now, Wednesday. This is our Wednesday 12 p.m. live stream. I want to make sure I keep saying that because we broadcast these shows all day long so that some of you could tell your friends if they missed the live show, they can still see the broadcast. But right now, it's Wednesday, and this is our 12 p.m. live. So ask your questions. This ain't a rebroadcast. JC said, could you please share with us your insights on how to best eliminate dealer add-ons, addendum lists from the deal? Example, windows etching, low jack, nitro in the tires, Scotch guard, okay. You name it, whatever. I always say this, and I have a video that has done well. It's been seen by several people, and it says we don't negotiate with dealers with fake fees. You can see what I need you to know is 80% of dealers are overpriced. 20% are trying to beat their competition and they don't mind competing. These are the best people in the world. These are the people you want to find and buy from. But there's 17,000 new car dealers in this country. There's 100,000 used car dealers in this country. Somebody tell Isaac on TikTok that we just answered that question. So if there's 17 million new car dealers in this country, 17,000 new car dealers in this country, and 100,000 new car dealers, used car dealers, and 80% are overcharging, then you need a strategy to find the 20%. That's another reason why you cannot walk into a dealer and think you're going to get your best deal, because you don't know. You have a much higher chance of finding an 80% than you do a 20%. Does that make sense? It's more than likely when you walk into a dealer and you request a quote or you request an info, even the dealer that you've been buying from, they're going to say, it's more than likely you're dealing with an 80% dealer just based on the sheer numbers. It's not 50-50. And like I said, I've worked with 8,000 people since 2021. We have the data to show this is not 20% is who you're looking for. That's who we're looking for. So what we do is we need to sort for them. We're not looking to walk in. We're looking to stay at home and sort for them. The 80% are going to do what the 80% do. To answer your question, JC, I'm not interested in getting an 80% dealer to take off their fees because that's not what they do. Thanks, Carter's dad. That's not what they do. They charge fees. People pay fees. People who walk into them and buy the old-fashioned way. Your friends. Some of my friends who don't know me, most of my friends know me though now. So, pretty much everyone that knows me in real life uses what I teach. But some of your friends, pretty much any of your friends that ain't doing what we teach, they're out there walking into dealers. And the 80% are going to do what the 80% do as long as people keep paying it. As long as people, all right, man, well, look, you're going to have to take some of that off. It's made up to begin with. So how do I win if you're taking off $2,000 of fees you made up and then I think I won? How's that a win? So the tactic is the worst kind of people are going to start so high. It's called padding the deal. So when you walk into the dealership, I'm padding the deal if I'm the worst kind of person. If I'm somebody who I bounce from dealer to dealer, I make a lot of money, but my customer service scores are low, but I make a lot of money, so I always have a job. Now what I'm going to do is you're going to sit down, and I'm going to say, all right, which car are you looking for? Which car are you looking for, Diana? All right, Miss Roberts. All right, here's what we're going to do. Okay, so it's going to be working out about $650 a month. All right. Shoot, that seems kind of high. Here's the problem when you're in a dealer. You don't even know if $650 was the right starting point. Maybe the real starting point was supposed to be $550. But I'm going to start you at $650 because I know psychologically you need to think you won. See, pay attention to this. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. Selling you a car, the way the car business has programmed you, it's not about you winning. It's about making you think you won. It's a psychological game that car salespeople are trained heavily for. So when you come in and I tell you it's $650, or when you look at that car and you see it and you're like, the window sticker says 42, but when we sit down and I say, okay, we got this fee and we got that. All right, so asking price is $45,700. And you're like, wait, but the window sticker says 42. But yeah, these are the add-ons that we have. All right, now I'm starting so high that I can take off money to make you think you won, and I still end up winning because I really didn't take off anything. So this is why we don't play the games of back and forth with fake fees. What we do is we sit at home, we get bids, if we're looking at pre-owned cars, we're looking at the marketplaces, we're narrowing it down because my strategy for shopping for used cars is different than new cars. New cars and leases, we use something called the 25 to 5 strategy. That's when we reach out to 25 dealers to get 5 quotes. Used cars, we use the multiple marketplace strategy where we go to all the used car marketplaces and now we look at what the low price is in the market and we sort it down to our top 3, top 5. And then we take it, we got to make sure there's no fake fees on them because that's a tactic they'll use on used cars. Fake fees, put a price out there. So everything is a screening process. That's what I want you using, a screening process, a sorting process, so that the best deal reveals itself. You don't negotiate for it. But we don't try to turn 80% dealers to 20%. They're never going to be that. Maybe they will if we change the whole industry, and they won't be able to keep their job if they don't change. But for today, 80% dealers are going to do what 80% dealers do. That's not our job. Our job is to find the 20%. Clear? Good question. Great question. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. We're live, y'all. This is Wednesday. This is episode 5 of Car Shopping Questions and Answers. We don't usually do a live show Wednesday. It's usually Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 12 and 3 Eastern time. So that's the schedule. If you're like, man, Deshone, I want to make sure I tell my coworkers, I got people in my church, they need to see this. Tell them Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 12 p.m., 3 p.m., we're here live. But all day long, we rebroadcast these lives so that even if they miss it, they can watch the show and watch the rebroadcast. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up. What if your car is damaged and you want to trade it? Okay, great question. And what you'll notice is a lot of people are going to ask the same question you have because many of you are in the same situation. So what if your car is damaged and you want to trade it? It depends on how bad the damage is affecting the value, in my opinion. So let's say you have a vehicle that is barely drivable. You're selling it in its worst condition and it's making, example, let's say you got a BMW, older BMW, the transmission's slipping or the transmission's out. It doesn't drive or it needs an engine. Something where literally the integrity of the car is totally compromised. That car is almost worthless. That car is going to be worth $500, $1,000, depending on the year, the mileage, $1,500. Meanwhile, if you put a used transmission in, this is why I'm an advocate. I preach you should always have a great local mechanic, a great local service shop in town that you use when your car has no warranty left. You must have this if you truly want to win, because these guys are usually 30, 40% of what a dealer is going to charge because they don't have that overhead. So what I'm doing, if I got an older BMW, no transmission, a Nissan, no transmission, I'm going to get a transmission from a salvage yard and get a used transmission, a used engine, pay $2,500, drop that in, and then sell the car like that. And I can tell you that that's what my father did. Like my father bought a GMC Envoy in 2009, maybe 4 years after he bought it in 2013. So it was 4 years old when we got it for him. Then maybe 3 years after that, the engine went. So he got a used engine. He's been driving that car since like 2017 with the used engine, and he's getting ready to sell it, and he'll probably get $4,000 or $5,000 for it on Facebook Marketplace because he's a low mileage driver. So you see how literally he could have went from switching a car when it was in its worst condition, taking a loss for it, versus investing the right money with the right person, getting the right engine, right transmission, drives it for a couple more years, and then can still pull a couple $1,000s out of it. Y'all clear? Y'all see how? Y'all see how? Type dollar signs if you understand that. That's the win right there. Not taking the loss and saying, all right, let me just get out of this car, it doesn't drive, and just taking the L. Big financial loss. Now, if you don't have major damage, then I wouldn't say fix it. If you're gonna go and you got a couple nicks on the car, then it might cost you $500-$600 to get the nicks touched up, but then the value of the vehicle only changes by $500-$600. So it was really a wash. You put 500 out, the car's worth 500 more. You want to only repair stuff that when you spend the money, you get double back what you spent. I put 2,500 in, it increased the value of my car by $5,000. And that's typically my opinion and my rules on how I like to operate when it comes to damage. Yes, I'm actually live right now. And why is your name the Auto Advisor? We got the Auto Advisor on TikTok. Go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan. All right, this one from YouTube. Alberto Romo. My car has some equity. Dealer called me if I want to trade for a new one. Car has less than 30,000 miles. Should I do it? Who's getting calls from dealers right now begging them to come in and look and let them buy your car? Who's getting calls? Who's getting emails? Who's getting letters right now from dealers? Fancy Girl Kiki said me. You're getting calls. You're getting calls. You're getting emails. You're getting letters. Hey, Ruben, we'd love to buy your car right now. Hey, Isaac, we could get you out of your car early. Come in right now. A lot of you, right? I see a lot of you. The reason that's happening, look, he's saying lock on Instagram, me. So the reason this is happening, y'all, is because they're depending on you letting the dealer be your first offer for your car. Now, see, dealers know they're getting outbid right now. They're not able to buy as many cars as they used to because people are getting used to. I mean, it's almost a curse word in my book. We don't use this word. We don't use the word trade. And some of you who have seen me in the past, you know we don't use the word trade. There's only one scenario where we need to trade, and that's if we have too much negative equity. The reason why we don't trade is because trading is not a bidding system. There's 3 transactions that you've been trained to give to a car dealer. One is buying a car from them. That's its own transaction. I bought a car from you. The second is getting the loan from them. That's another transaction. I got a loan from you, because there's other companies out there that only give loans. They don't even care if you buy a car. They don't sell cars. They give loans. That's a clue that there's money in the loan business. Now, the third transaction is people who want to buy your car. When you give your car to the same dealership, you gave them your old car, that's one transaction. You gave them your loan, that's another transaction. And you gave them the purchase of a new car from them. That's 3 transactions. And most times you didn't get bids on any of them. That's how you're losing money. You're probably losing $2,000 here, probably $1,500 on the loan, and then maybe another $1,000, $1,500 on your car that you gave to them. Hidden money. See, I'm not just here to teach you how to car shop from home the right way, strategically using my system. I'm also here to reveal to you the hidden money that you haven't seen in your car deals. So you got to stop doing combining transactions. That's why we don't trade. We get offers in my book, step 2. My book is 7 steps. Everything I teach is 7 steps. Those 7 steps won't change. First step is most important question. That's leasing versus buying. How many years you keep in the car? Second step is equity assessment. I need to get offers for my current car, my current lease, see if I have any equity, see if I can break even, or see if I have negative equity. Third step is deal structure. I need to find out how much this car is supposed to cost if I get a deal on it. I'm budgeting for a deal. See, we don't budget based on how much I could afford. I'm budgeting, I'm looking at a car if I'm going to lease and saying, if I'm leasing, this is what a good deal would be on this car. I'm budgeting if I'm purchasing, this is how much I'm coming up with. Watch this. Many of you go in and you've been, I only want to spend no more than $500 a month. Or hey, I only want to spend no more than $30,000. You end up spending $570, or you end up spending $31,500. Or they say, hey, yeah, we got you to $30,000, but what about the taxes? All right, well, I guess I'll just put that on the credit card. So you end up going over budget because you shop with your max budget in mind. We never shop with our max in mind. We shop with multiple goals below our max so that we always, no matter where we land, we're under our max budget. That's step 3. Step 4, we do something called shopping, not buying. We don't mix the two with my system. Shopping is deciding what you want. Buying is step 5 when we go into the market and we start getting offers on what we want. But when you get to step 5, you're in the market getting offered. Step 6 is paperwork and protection. All that paperwork that you need to know. All right, do I need this product? Warranties, all of that is step 6. And then step 7 is delivery. So everything I'm teaching you falls under one of those 7 steps. And I'm trying to get you to use a system instead of winging it. If you don't wing it, you'll be fine. But step 2, Alberto, is the equity assessment, where you're getting offers to find out what your car is worth. You can give the dealer an opportunity later to beat it, but you need to know. That's why we don't respond to those. Hey, come on in. Let me look at your old car. Let me buy your old car. Hey, come on in. Let me see. You need to call your bank for a payoff, and you need to go to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, Sell My Car, Car Guru, Sell My Car. Take you 20, 25 minutes to do your equity assessment, and you got real cash offers that you'll know if I have equity in my car, and you'll know these people can cut me a check in an hour. And now let me go prepare to shop for my replacement car because these companies already bid on my old car. Type clear if y'all are clear on that. That's the equity assessment. That's my 7-step system. That's why my book is called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. All right. All of you could get a copy. You could get your copy for 75% off. It's normally $97, but as part of our launch, you can get it in my TikTok bio for 30 minutes for 75% off. Once the timer goes back up, once the timer expires, it's back up to $97. So get your copy before the timer runs out. Same thing with Instagram. Go to my Instagram bio. You'll have it 3 minutes and you come back to the show. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube, we got links in the comment section for you. All right. Great question, though. Look, go ahead. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. Oh, it said, this man, bro, spitting gold fire for real. I hope this isn't going over anyone's head. Me too, bro. Listen, me too. Keep that question up. Fancy girl Kiki from TikTok. But me too, bro. Like, I'm sitting here, man, and I pray every day that the Lord help me to look. I want you to even see. I gotta unlearn. That's why I represent this brand. I got to unlearn. Like, I have been programmed, and the people who programmed me have actually programmed me because they make more money by me staying programmed. So some of you, it's unfortunate, are not going to spend $24. You're not going to spend $24. Now, I had people get the book for $97. It's people that might be on here that say, man, I got the book before we even had this sale. $97, but some of you are not going to spend $24 to get the book. But you want to go into a 5-figure transaction, a 5-figure, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. Some of you who are buying luxury vehicles and exotics transaction, but it's something about not, and that's just unfortunate. All right, fancy girl Kiki from TikTok. Is it true that you can have your down payment go towards your payments? So, all right. So when we're working out our loan, again, this is still combining the loan and the purchase of the car. Because when you're actually trying to figure out and hope your down payment goes towards the payments and actually goes towards the car versus you basically just giving it to the dealership or maybe losing it to, not going to the car, you're mixing. Because when we're shopping, we have loan. When you buy your car, if I'm financing, right? Give you an example. When I bought my Infinity truck, I'm shopping for the car. Once I get the car, now, and I use my perfect budget calculator. It's in my book. It's a calculator I created. See, that stuff I can't even explain on this show. I can't explain how a calculator that I created works. It's a surprise when you get there, when you read and you're like, oh, this is a calculator. I've never seen nothing like this before. I know, because I made it. And I got like 5 of them in there. So, but when you're trying to do what it does, I can tell you how to do this manually to some degree. When you got to know what you can spend. That's why we have that budgeting exercise where in order for me to be at a $450 a month payment, I can't get any more than a $22,000 loan. If I get more than a $22,000 loan, then I'm going to have more than a $450 payment. So now you might say, okay, 6 years though, because if I go 6 years on the loan, then maybe I could get like $25,000 depending on my interest rate. But I need to know how much car I can buy based on where I want my payment to be. So now once I establish that in a budget exercise, you can do that with some calculators online, try to, but you have to account for taxes. The reason why these calculators don't work well, because they're not going to account for the taxes. They're not going to account for, any down payment you want to put in, and they're not going to account for any equity you may be getting. And then they're not going to give you these goals for, all right, a 5-year loan or a 6-year loan is 2 different prices. $450 a month for 5 years is not the same as $450 a month for 6 years. If I get a car at $450 a month for 5 years, I got a better price on it than if I got it for $450 a month for 6 years. So these are the things that you kind of got to have in your budget so that all right, this is how, because it does me no good to know that I could go and spend $35,000 on a pre-approval. What does that do? How does that equate to what I can actually spend? I don't want to spend $35,000. That's a $700 a month payment. So, but once you establish the budget on how much I can spend, now you go find the car. So I'm shopping for the Infinity, and I'm shopping knowing all of these cars are within my budget. Now, when I actually get the car, now what I'm doing is going and I'm finalizing my loan and having multiple dealers, multiple banks and credit unions give me offers for my loan. Everyone can run my credit with a hard pull because I'm within the rate window where it's not going to affect my credit negatively. It's only going to weigh as one hard pull. I know you've heard, oh, don't let all these people run your credit. If you do this right, according to how you're supposed to rate shop, you can Google rate shop. In fact, I'll show you right now. I'm going to share my screen so y'all can actually see. See, it's the information you don't know that's costing you. It's the information that you don't know that is costing you. Look, if I go to Google and I type in rate shopping, Experian has a whole article. Let me know if y'all can see my screen. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. Entire screen. Look. So I go right here. Rate shopping. They have a whole article about how to properly rate shop. And let me see. Look, the FICO score window is 14 to 45 day period, depending on which version is used to calculate the score. So we do it in 2 days. We do it in 2 days. So we don't even use the 14-day window. That's why we don't let anybody run our credit with a hard pull until after we already find our car. So now you come in and you are I'm letting all these people run my credit to get their offers for my loan, their offers for my interest. And then what I'm doing is whoever makes the best deal there, I'm calling the dealer and I'm giving the dealer an opportunity to beat it. because the dealer has another 7, 8, 10 banks that they might, okay, there, let me see if I can beat that because I like to earn the business. And that's what I call the bank bidding war blueprint. So I'm putting that when you get my book, you actually get the bank bidding war blueprint because I haven't combined it with my book yet. It's going to take me probably about 30 days to combine it into my book. So I just send the book and I send the bank bidding war blueprint. That strategy right there is called the bank bidding war. So we're not worried about if our down payment's going to go to the car because our loan is always worked out with the bank, not with the dealership. Okay? Separate these things. When you start separating these things like I want you to, you're going to see I can't get into the same trouble I used to get into. Okay? Go ahead. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. Great question. Are you even actively selling cars or are you just selling books now? No, we're all in the education business. I haven't sold cars since 2020. TikTok, what's the best way to approach a used dealership? From home. All the marketplaces. So you don't want to, if you're shopping for a used car, you cannot afford to miss a place where a used car is. What does that mean? Car Gurus, Auto Trader, Carfax.com, CarMax.com, Carvana, Driveway, eBay Motors. There's 8 marketplaces that we use. Vroom used to be on there, but Vroom's out of business now. So, and we don't use, people will say, why don't you use Auto Tempest because it pulls inventory from all that. We don't use a third-party site because what it's doing is pulling, it's not going to pull all the inventory because no one's going to give this third-party site permission to just pull all their inventory and now people start going to the third-party site instead of coming to them. So we just go direct to the marketplaces. And then the first thing we're doing, once we know our budget and what we can spend, we're going and we're looking for our car, but we are not going, the first thing you need to do if you want to get, y'all know, like what I'm famous for is teaching people how to get below market deals from home. Below market deals. When you're getting below market deals, you have to realize there's 2 other categories of most people paying. Some of you have been paying market value. Some of you have been paying above market value. So below market value means there's 2 categories that we want to buy below what they're paying. Okay? So we got to have that in our mind. Below market. Like when you look at Eddie. Look at Eddie. This is 2023. This was last year. Still coming out of low inventory. He got a 2023 Camry hybrid. And the hybrids last year, they were on fire. On fire. Like, so they were still charging $2,000, $3,000 over sticker price for the, he got $2,086 under MSRP getting bids. That was his lowest bid. Okay? He said I had a 1-week window. So those of you who are like, Deshone, I need a car in a week. When you get bids, it ain't nothing. He said I actually completed the process in 4 days. So below market deals where people are paying sticker price and they think they won. You know what? Hey, you know what? The best deal is, at least I didn't get a markup, sticker price. Now, let's get back to approaching the used cars. When we open up when we get in used cars. Oh, wait a minute, yo, banana dad, you funny, man. So when we get in used cars, so our goal before we could get a below market used deal, we have to know what the market prices are. So when we open up those marketplaces, the first thing I want you to do is look and sort from lowest to highest prices on all of them. Lowest to highest prices. Well, the first thing we actually do is start an account. You want an account because we want to get alerts of all new inventory. So we start an account on all the marketplaces that we can start an account on. Now we're going to look and sort from lowest to highest, and we're going to look and see what the low side of the market is. Low side of the market, low side of the market. Now I might say, okay, the low side of the market is about 22, 23. If you're doing it right, you're always going to have prices that are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 more. If you don't see that type of spread, you're not doing it right. So now we know this is the low side of the market. Now here's what comes with the low side of the market: bad Carfaxes, frame damage, salvage titles, sketchy history, damaged cars. That's good. That's what comes with it. What we're looking to do is see where those cars are priced at, and we're looking to be right above them. And from there, we have a particular system of how we're going to sort based on title history, service records, extremely important. We will not buy a used car without great service records. Then we go to accident history. There's a couple different types of accidents: serious accidents, airbag deployed, vehicle towed. All of this is serious accident. I appreciate you, JCAA. Shout out to the sharers on TikTok. Now we go to, then we need to verify there's no bogus fees, because that's a narrowing down. Now that'll narrow us down to like a top 3, top 5, top 7. But some of those vehicles are going to have bogus fees, guaranteed. And this is not always happening day one. That's why I don't want you waiting until you need a car to go shop. I want you in the market early, a month, 2 months, 3 months before you need a car, so that you can watch the market. And when you can watch the market, you have much more leverage. You have much more flexibility. You can say no. You can see where the price trends are, and you can get alerts. Many times, it's the alerts of the new cars that's going to be the car you take down. Because once you know the low side of the market, now you're getting alerts. Every new car that hits the market, boom, soon as it hits, I can look and see, oh, that's priced on the low side. Now I look, oh, shoot, frame damage. Oh, shoot, salvage title. Oh, shoot, whatever. And eventually one pops up and you're like, oh, good Carfax. Oh, good title history. Boom. And now we're preparing to get ready to take that car off the market. We can't test drive used cars until we're ready to buy them, though. That's the only reason we can't do 100% of our used car deals from home, ever. New car deals, we've had people throughout, use my book, in my course, 100%. Dealer delivers the car. That can happen. New cars and leases, 100%. Used cars, we can't. You must go to the dealer. You must see the car. You must drive it. And then that's when you're taking that deal across the finish line right then and there. Okay? That's a overview of what I call my multiple marketplace strategy. If you do that, you win. I mean, there's no guarantees in life. So I'm not here to guarantee, but I am here to say, you haven't had strategy. When you're using strategy and boundaries, you haven't had boundaries or strategy. You add boundaries and strategies to your car buying, 99 times out of 100, you're going to win more than you used to win. All right? Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. Does your book teach how to sell and grow? I don't really know what that means. Sell and grow. This one's from TikTok. Do I get a discount for paying cash for a car? No. I know a lot of people told. Who was taught you get a deal for paying cash? Type a dollar sign if you were taught you get a better deal for paying cash. I got the book, the cheat sheets, awesome. Service connected. Don't use the cheat sheet. If you got the book, scrap the cheat sheets. The book is the nuts and bolts. The cheat sheets is an overview. I see you though. Use it. Win. So, all right. So you got Gina VL. You got I don't want to butcher your name, so I'm not even going to try. I see you on TikTok, though. I see Cozy Boy Nesto on Instagram. Okay, Monty. So my question was, who was taught you get a better deal by paying cash? All right. Now, I said type a dollar sign if you've ever heard this. Now, I don't want you operating with bad information. Let me tell you where this came from. And remember what I said earlier in the show. Earlier in the show, I told you, the car business is not about you winning. If you win, great, but it's about making you think you won. And I can only make you think you won based on what you tell me you need in order to feel like you win. So if you come in and say, listen, man, I'm paying cash, man, y'all got to do something better for me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, you don't get a better deal for paying cash. Now, I would tell you, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. You can get this price whether you pay cash or not. So like there is no, but somebody who's like not going to be willing to go and tell you that, they're going to make it look like, all right, I got to make you think that the deal I'm giving you is because you pay cash. This originated from when dealers used to finance cars. There are still people, and you may be one of them, who think the dealer owns your car after you get it. That's why there are people who say if they can't afford a car, they say, man, I'm gonna get a dealer back their car. It's not their car anymore. Unless you're dealing with like a buy here, pay here place where they're actually extending the loan to you, it's not the dealer's car anymore. But back in the past, dealers used to extend loans. They would hold the financing. So if you offered them all the money up front, it was an incentive for them because they knew it guaranteed they get the money now. And it also saved them interest. It saved them, if they were holding the note, then they're still technically paying for that car. And they're like, okay, I could save you another $1,000, $1,500, because you're going to give me all the cash up front. It's not like that anymore. It's not. Literally from the time you leave, the dealership is funded in full in hours. Like by the time you drive off, wire transfer, the dealer is funded for the car. The funds come from Bank of America, Chase, TD, M&T Bank, whoever it comes from, wired to the dealer. From that point, it's between you and who? Who's on the title? Who's the ones calling you if you don't make the payment? Who's the one setting up the car to be taken if you don't make the payment? It's not the dealer, right? It's the bank. So it's always between you and the bank from that point, which is why you don't get an exactly life experience. You're not getting a better deal paying cash. And that's just because that's the way it's set up. Now, the rare exception that you may see, and this doesn't happen a lot, sometimes there's like a low interest rate. Like when I was with General Motors, we might have like all right, you could get 0% interest, or you could get a $5,000 rebate. Only on a new car though. But you can't do both. So if you had somebody who could pay the cash, maybe if they save more money by taking the rebate than they would if they were to take the loan. So in which case, you're not getting a better deal because you're paying cash. It's just an incentive to, you're getting a rebate. But so those are these are very rare circumstances. So I just don't want you going in and telling you that you heard that from me. And I'm just telling you that's the truth. Like that is the truth. And when you really look at how banking works and how dealerships work and the fact they don't own the car, you'll understand there's no incentive to you paying cash at all. And if you're not investing your cash, see, I want you to also think about what you're doing with your money. Because if you want to pay cash, God bless you. Pay cash. Interest rates are high. Put as much down as you can. Pay cash. Get the loan out of there as fast as possible. You're paying 6, 7, 8, 10%, 12%. Get the loan out of there. Pay it off or make a large down, only finance a small portion of the car. But if the rates are low, which at some point we do believe rates will be low again, or I always tell people in the bank bidding war, you got to check, see if there's any special interest rates. There might be 0%, might be 1%, 2%. So if those instances exist, there are people who your money's invested. You're getting 8% on your money. You're getting 6%. You're getting 10%. You're in real estate. You're getting 15%. It makes no financial sense to take that money that's earning money for you out and put it into a car that is going to lose money for you. That $20,000, $50,000 you put in the car is going to be worth half of that in 3 and 4 or 5 years. 5 years, it'll be worth half. So these are the things I talk about. I don't believe in one size fits all car advice, y'all. That's why I'm always saying it depends on this situation. If you're this type of person, if you're keeping your cars 8 years, you should be buying. If you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you should be selling. I mean, you should be leasing. A lot of people think, okay, Deshone, you talk about leasing a lot. I talk about leasing for people who are not keeping cars 8 years because they've been taught that they should still be buying. But I'm putting you in the strategy that's custom to your life versus what you've been hearing, which is people telling you, hey, do what I do. Only buy used cars, pay cash for them. And that's your situation. So anyway, so all of this is out my book. Cue the next question up, Dolan. We got a couple more minutes and then we'll wrap. All of this is in my new book, Cars from Home. It's called 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers. Normally $97. You can get your copy for 75% off for 30 minutes. It'll be $24. And everything I teach is in there. You know, everything that my my students in my video course have had, my coaching. This is the same 7-step strategy that we use to get these below market deals. And I've been showing them throughout the show. So if you just jumped on, like we've been showing these deals throughout the show. All right. Go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan. How can we eliminate dealer add? Oh, we did that one. Yeah, we did that one from YouTube with the dealer add-on. This one's Dakota from YouTube. I have a Malibu Chevy, still drives good. However, the dealer's banged up as well as a few scratches. The door's banged up as well as a few scratches. I mean, if it's cosmetic, if it's banged up, I wouldn't worry about the few scratches because the few scratches is really what's normal. And you know, people expect you to have normal wear and tear on the car. Some people think, hey, if I have a, you know, even with leasing, you're allowed to have wear and tear, a couple nicks, dings, they allow that. They don't expect you to bring the car back perfect. Same way with this. But if it's a big dent that would be an eyesore and you can get a company like Dent Wizard or something like that to come pop the dent out, then I would do that. That might be $200, but it might make a buyer pay, you know, $1,000 more for the car. Because if I come and I see the doors banged up, I probably want $1,000 off depending on what you asking. But if I come and see you done smoothed it out, now you could ask, and I'm less like, you know. So that stuff that you can put a little money in that gives you a bigger return when you go to sell a car. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, show and tell. I have the book. Is Maps Academy different? Yeah. Maps Academy is my video program. The book is the 7 steps. I have a video library that's 7 steps in video, and then Maps Academy is, you know, my video program, and I coach people. So we do these Zoom calls, so we make sure we answer questions. So I always say, get in where you fit in. You know, get in where you fit in. I don't care how you get the information. Get the information. You want to get it from my free videos on social media. You want to cycle through those. I got hundreds of them. Piece things together. Get in where you fit in. You want to be on the live show. Try to piece it together. You want to get the book. You want to be in the video library. You want to coach with me. Whatever. That's what I'm saying. It's no excuse. It's no excuse for any of you not to be getting below market deals when the information exists. And it's thousands of people that testify about me. I'm not new here. We got over 2 million followers. If I wasn't helping people, it would have been out by now. Somebody would have wrote by now, oh, this guy don't do what he said. I got thousands of people around this country, testimonials, hundreds that we done just grabbed, boom, boom, emailing us, yo, look at my deal, look at my deal. So it's just, you are just now discovering what we do. But understand, we've been doing this. All right. All right. All right. Go ahead. TikTok. What would be the sweet spot year in buying a used large SUV, Suburban, or Expedition? Much as you could afford. You see, so when you look at quality, this is why I like to have multiple goals. Because what I like to do is I like to have a goal, right? 5-year loan, no down payment. That's one price. 6-year loan, no down payment. That's another price. 5-year loan with the money, you know, I might say, okay, if I have to, I can put $5,000 down. You know what I'm saying? Some of you, that's realistic. That's how you look at it. Man, if I have to, I got $3,000 I can put down. If I don't have to, I don't want to. That's why when you use my perfect budget calculator, which is in my book, step 3, when we're budgeting, we're deal focused budgeting. here's what you want to know. If I want to be at $450 a month, how much is $450 on a 5-year loan? No money down. All right, that's one purchase price. Now, second tier, $450 a month, no money down, 6-year loan. I told you I pay more if I had $450 for 6 years than I $450 for 5 years. So that's the next step up. Then I say, okay, 5-year loan using my down payment money. And then my max budget would be 6-year loan using my down payment money. But understand, I'm still under my max budget. I don't care if I have to go, and then we have another step where some of you have an old car. You have an older car, you're going to be selling it. You got 3,000 equity, you got 5,000 equity. That's also in there. So then it'll be no down payment, no equity. No down payment, no equity, 6 years. Down payment, no equity. Down payment and equity. See, all of this is below my max budget. Once I do a 6-year loan, my down payment and my equity, I'm not mad because I'm still under my max. Now, if I go above that now, if I wanted to do 5 and now I'm doing 6, or if I want to do $450 a month and I'm doing $480, now I've gone above my max budget. So my system for purchasing, we use this for new cars, used cars. Anybody who's getting a loan, this is what we do. This is in my book. My calculator generates those 6 goals for you. So when we say sweet spot, my first target is that first goal. That's my first target. When I went shopping for my Infiniti, I was looking for a car under that first price. Couldn't find it. Jumped up to the next tier. Couldn't find it. Jumped up to the next tier. And it was my 4th goal is where I found this one at. But I still had like $4,000 or $5,000 more that would have kept me below my max budget. So that's how you want to do it. Shorter loans, no down payment. Longer loan that I'll take is 6 years. I'll never recommend anything longer than 6 years. And then we start adding those resources that we have to it. And then once we tap out at the top, that's our max budget. 6-year loan, the most down payment money. And then if I have any equity from my car, I'm putting that all into the deal. And then as long as I find a car in any of those, and that's usually like a $10,000 to $15,000 spread, depending on, how much resources you got. That's a couple $1,000s right there. So that gives you the room to bump yourself up without letting a car dealer bump you up over your budget. All right? That's why it's called the perfect budget calculator. And I invented it. All right? Praise the Lord. Listen, I appreciate y'all. We've been on for about an hour and 15 minutes. We do these shows live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wasn't going to do one today, but you know what? I said, it's Wednesday. Let's jump on. Let's do a live. Let's get some questions. Let's get as many as we can. But this is what we do, y'all. You could tell your friends 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You can meet me live on any of my platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. And we'll be doing this live Q&A to make sure you guys get what you need to save money and get below market car deals. That is the goal. So for those of you who like Deshone, I appreciate the show, but I want everything in one spot, man. I don't want to even have to come back to this show anymore. That's all in my new book, Car Shopping. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get it for 75% off in my TikTok bio. It'll be in your inbox, and everyone who gets a car, who gets a book, right when you purchase, I give you a support email. So on that last page, you'll see a support email. If for some reason I don't give the support email out to the public because people just be emailing me with questions and all that. I don't do DMs. I don't do none of that because we got too many people to be doing DMs and all of that. Once you purchase this book, you get a support email. If for any reason your book doesn't arrive in 5-10 minutes, check your spam, check your junk folder. But if it's not there, then email us at support and we'll make sure we get you a copy right to you. All right. So use this information, get your book for 75% off. You won't pay the full $97 in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, or in the comment section on YouTube or Facebook. We got a link in the comments for you, or you can scan the QR code. But that's what we do, y'all. Below market deals. That's the goal. Keep unlearning, keep relearning. I appreciate you. All right. See y'all on the next live.
The worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
Gail. Welcome everybody to episode 6 of Car Shopping Questions and Answers. I am your host, Deshone, publicly known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. We do these shows Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday live at 12 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So I know some of you may see our live rebroadcast. That's for you to tell your friends about. That's when you can't make the show, you catch the rebroadcast. But those are the times that we're live. If you don't know me, I'm the author of the digital book Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers, currently rated 4.94 on Goodreads.com. So thank you to everyone who has reviewed the book, the digital book. All of you can get the copy for 75% off during the show for the next 30 minutes. You'll see when you click the link in my TikTok bio, there is a link, there's a button for you to get 75% off. So you won't pay the normal $97 price. Same thing with Instagram. And you guys on Facebook or YouTube, you can click the button in the comments and you can get your copy. So come on in, start typing your questions. We do this, we do rapid fire Q&A. I see a lot of people coming on the TikTok, and we got Dolan pulling questions. So no matter where you're watching us from, type your questions and we're going to pull them into the live show and we'll get them answered right now. All right. So I'm excited about this show. I see we're continuing to see people getting below market deals. If you don't know that the goal is for you to get below market deals, and the goal is for you to not spend more than 30 minutes in a car dealership. I spent 14 years in car dealerships. So you're not learning from somebody who's just like you. I'm just like you in that, I buy cars, I lease cars. That's the way we're similar, but I'm an insider. I'm an auto industry insider. My business for 14 years plus was in car dealerships. So start typing your questions. Let me tag everybody on Facebook and let's get down to business. Okay, whenever we get the first one, Dolan will put it up. Let me just tag my people here on Facebook. All right, there we go. Okay, what's up, Skinner? Good to see you. What's up, Angel? What's up, Jill, man? Good to see you. Yep, what's up, Jason? Great to see you. All right. Brother said he's been doing it. Oh, what's up, Auto Advisor? Good to see you. Absolutely. All right, y'all got to type fast. I know you probably, and try not to make your questions long. Try to get all your question in one shot, but try not to make it too long where it can't fit in. All right, this one's from TikTok. Isaac from TikTok said, best current APR rate for tier A1 credit. So the best APR is always going to come through getting bids. Now I know this is new. This is new to most of you. But getting bids is how you're going to get your best and guarantee your best car deal, your best loan. So I'm going to lay out this process we call the bank bidding war. And if you follow this step, you'll be able to have 10, 15, 20 banks and credit unions bidding for your loan. And then you'll be able to pick the best one. And the way you do this is extremely important, because if you do this right, then it's only going to have the same effect on your credit score as one hard inquiry. So think about what we're saying. We're going to allow multiple people to access our credit with hard inquiries, but at the end of this period, after we get our car, the weight on our score, the effect on our credit score is going to be one hard inquiry. So the first thing, there's 3 rounds in the bank bidding war. The first round is to always check and see if there's any special interest rates or special promotional rates that are being advertised for the car you're looking for. So let's just say you're shopping for a, Kia Telluride. You're gonna now check and see, is there any special interest rates? 0%, 0.99%, 1.99%. All of these rates are like a finance rebate. That means there's no bank or credit union that's gonna beat them. So this is the first round. So if we do get a special interest rate there's no reason for us to even shop for interest rates other than that, because again, no bank, no credit union is beating 1.99, even 2.99. Now, here's what you have to check when we do that. How long is that loan? Because some people might give you 1.99, but it's only for 36 months. And some of us are not going to take a loan for 36 months because the payment's going to be too high. You might need a 5-year loan or a 6-year loan. So we're not just looking for if there's a special interest rate, we're looking for what is the term. Shout out to everybody coming in. This is our Thursday, April 18th, episode 5, live car Q&A. So we're actually live right now. This isn't a rebroadcast, so you can come on in and start typing your questions. And we're talking thousands over here, not hundreds. Okay, so that's round 1 of the bank bidding war. Now, let's just say we do that and there's no special interest rates. Now we're moving on to round 2. But round 2 comes after we find our car. So once you find your car, no one has touched your credit with a hard inquiry yet. Pay attention. You have not heard me say at any time hard credit pull at all. When you're shopping for your cars, no hard credit pull. Nobody's running our credit while we're shopping. Once we find our best deal, once we find a dealer that's going to sell us the new car for the lowest price, we lock up that car, usually with a deposit, reserve it. And now what we're doing is we're telling the dealership, I'm going to take this buyer's order. You're going to get a buyer's order. You're going to come home, and now you're going to now the second round of the bank bidding war is about to start. You're going to come home. You're going to call your bank if you have one, or your credit union. This is when you're going to let them access your credit. Because if you've ever tried to actually get a bank to tell you what the interest rate would be, like a pre-approval, many of them, and if you've experienced this, I want you to type a 1, many of them will say you need to have a car first, right? If you've experienced that type of 1, you call your bank, hey, I'm trying to get a pre-approval. They're like, okay, well, we need the information on the car. And you're like, well, I'm trying to get the pre-approval so I can go get the car. So that's why we don't follow that process of getting a pre-approval beforehand. Look, Marinette, you've experienced it on Facebook. So when we look at having the buyer's order for the car that we reserved, you have everything you need now. You have everything the bank could want. And you're now going to call your bank, or if hopefully your bank and credit union has a website, you could do this all online. And you're going to get as many approvals, offers as you possibly can. In my book, I list a couple: your bank, your credit union, online banks, Lightstream, community credit union, everybody who can lend in your state, you want them bidding. This is very important because some of you haven't been trained to see. My job is to not teach you just how to buy from home and make people bid for your business. My job is to show you everyone willing to listen. If you're willing to listen, I'll show you where the hidden money is in your car deal. The money you have not been trained to see, or the money you've been trained not to look at. And the people who have trained you not to look at this money are usually the people that's making the money. So you have to see that one point. Let me give you a scenario here. Let's go to an auto loan calculator so you can see how much money is just in your car loan. Just in your car loan. And we're going to do a couple different interest rates so y'all can take this serious and you'll see why you need to be getting multiple bids for your interest. So if I'm buying a $30,000, if I'm looking to borrow $30,000, let's take $30,000 for an example. Average, pretty good average. Average price of a car is probably higher than that, but let's use 30. Now, if that interest rate is 5.99, total interest paid is $4,791 over the course of 5 years at 5.99. If the interest rate is 7.99, total interest paid is $64.89. That's over $2,000 difference. 2 points, $30,000 loan. Now, some of you are going to be borrowing more than that. Some of you are getting $50,000 loans. Interest at that same 7.9 on a $50,000 loan is $10,815 over 5 years. Now, if you can get 2 points less, 5.99, interest is $7,984. This is $3,000 difference. So, do you see how if you're not taking getting the best loan offer just as serious as you're taking trying to get the best price, you get a good price and then you'll give it back to the bank who's giving you the loan. So this is why we get bid. So we're now going to let all these people run your credit. This is when you do your hard inquiry. You don't do it before this. Hard inquiries, credit unions, online banks, your bank, your credit union, everybody's bidding now. And now what you're going to do, once you take the best offer from that round, that's round 2, that's when you're going to call the dealer and you're going to tell them what that best offer is and see if they can beat it. Because the dealership has another 7 to 10 to 12 banks that they're going to be competing to try to get your business. So this is the bank bidding war. So when I created this product, and if you do this right, as I said, what I know you were taught, who was taught, be honest, we're live right now. This is our Thursday, 12 p.m. live. Who was taught, don't let people run your credit. When you have multiple inquiries, it lowers your credit score. Who was taught that? Type me if you were taught that. Don't let people run your credit. You can't have all these people doing hard inquiries or it's gonna jack your credit score up. All right, look, that right was taught. Okay. Look, Lisa, I see you. Hold on. Let me go to Instagram so I can see our Instagram comments over here. I always got to go to Instagram Live. Okay, Diana from Facebook. I see you. Hold on. Let's get Instagram in the building. Give me a second. All right. Marinette. All right. Marinette. Okay, I see you. D, I don't even want to try to pronounce your name, but I see you on Instagram. So it's partially true and it's partially wrong. You have to do it the way I just laid out for you. That's called the bank bidding war. And if you want to prove this for yourself, you can simply type in rate shopping online and you'll see this is how the credit union, this is how the credit bureaus allow you to rate shop. So they'll give you 14 to 45 days to do it. If you do it like I just told you, it'll only take 2 days. 2 days. One day you're doing all your stuff at home. We're getting all our lenders at home to bid. The next day, we're getting the dealers to get their lenders to bid. And then we're making a decision on who got the best offer. So don't ask yourself. I never want you asking yourself. I never ask myself, did I get the best deal? That's a question of disempowerment. That's a question of weakness. We don't want that. What you should be saying is, following this process, I guarantee I got the best deal because I got offers from all these banks. I can't get offers from 15, 20 banks and not guarantee I got the best rate. The way you shop, or you've been taught to shop or programmed to shop, you're only getting offers from one bank, or you're just letting the dealer do it all for you. That's where your buyer's remorse comes from. That's where your skepticism about, did I really get the best rate, come from. So we won't know what the best rate is until we get all the bids. And that's how we do it. So everything that I'm teaching y'all is part of what's in my book, rated 4.9 on Goodreads. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers. You could keep typing your questions because Dolan's going to pull the next question in. You can put it up on the screen now, Dolan. Put the next question up. But all of you could get your copy for 75% off as long as you get to my website before the 30 minutes expires. This is a welcome offer. Normal price of the book is $97, and it's worth every penny. It's worth actually thousands. But special welcome offer, you get it for 75% off in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, or in the comment section on YouTube or Facebook. Okay, this is Monty from YouTube. She said, my mother's looking to start a new lease soon, but she only drives 5,000 a year. What's the best option? Low mileage lease if she's not keeping the car. So if she's not keeping the car, Monty, watch this. I run this scenario a lot, and I want y'all to, because some of you, you were taught never to lease. If you stick around this channel long enough, you'll see probably within minutes that that's some of the worst advice that you've ever listened to. If you don't keep your cars 8 years, so we'll talk about that. And we show examples. It's not even up for debate. People who try to debate it, they're emotional and they're tied to old advice. So once you have decided you're leasing, which means I'm not keeping my car 8 years, I want to avoid that depreciation, then I need to be shopping for aggressive lease deals, because it's the short term. Again, this is another unseen expense, depreciation. This is why, look, when you buy your car today, you buy a $40,000 car today, you try to take that car back to the dealership a month later, what's it worth? You try to take, you buy a car today for 40,000. You try to take that car back to the dealer a month later. Is it worth 40,000? Right? No. A month. You might have even not you might have not even driven it. But that's the way depreciation works. You don't have to drive the car. In fact, here's another scenario. You could park the car outside your house for a year. You buy it for 40,000, park it right outside your house, don't even touch it. Just start it every now and then to keep the engine running. You come back a year later, that car is not worth 40,000. It's worth probably 32. Dang, how did I lose that much value and I didn't even drive it 1 mile? Depreciation. That's called the unseen expense. So whenever you hear me talk about the unseen expense, it's depreciation. So your job is to find the strategies, which is what I teach, to make sure you avoid the depreciation hit. So if you buy a car, Monty, even if she doesn't drive it, even if she only drives it 5,000 per year, 5,000 miles a year, like you're saying, she's losing value. And what she's doing when she replaces the car is she's hoping she could get some of that value back that she lost. It really never happens. Who understands that when you go to trade your car in, you never get what you really thought you were going to get for the car, right? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Everyone who has a car outside that's 10 years old or more, 10 years old or more, type me in the comments. Matter of fact, let me know how many years you've had the car. That's a better one. Type how many years you've had the car. And for those of you who just came to the show, this is our Thursday, 12 p.m. live show. We're actually live right now. This isn't a rebroadcast, although we do rebroadcast these shows throughout the day, all day, so that you can actually catch up, watch the replay. But this is our time. We're live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. Make sure you're here. If you want to engage with us, make sure you're here. If you want to tell your friends, this is the time to be here. Okay, so we got people 11 years. Can Skin on Instagram, 11 years, 13 years. Jessica on YouTube, I see you. 6-year Jeep Wrangler. Well, I wanted to hear from people who are longer. 2018 Sakia. So, all right, 15 Tahoe. Okay, I'm talking about the people who've had a car 10 years or more. One thing about you that listen, are y'all worried about how much you're really going to get for that car? Are you overly worried about it? Most of you are going to say, no, not really. It's worth a couple thousand, but you've used most of the value. You understand that? Look, Big Meek said I got 08 4Runner on TikTok. So we understand when you have kept your car long term, I'm not concerned with resale value much, because my whole goal with having this car was to use up most of the value. So that's what you do if you're a buyer. If you're not going to get to this level, this is what I'm telling you, that you are now losing because the depreciation of your car is the highest in the first 5-6 years. So in order for you to win, you have to keep that car, what I call the 8-year rule, 8 years. That's when the depreciation starts to level out, where you're not losing value like this. And so regardless of how much you're driving, that's not the key. That's not the key. Monty's mom is driving 5,000 miles a year. Who's a high mileage driver driving more than 18,000 miles a year? Type HM. I want you to know, I want to cover all the bases for this question here. Oh, what doesn't matter whether you're a high mileage driver, low mileage driver, it has nothing to do with how much you drive, because that's not what's killing you. It's the depreciation based on the time you have owned the vehicle. And if you're not keeping that car 8 years, you should be shopping for aggressive leases. Now, before we go to the next question, I'm going to show y'all an example of why it is impossible. Yes, impossible. No way, shape, form, fashion. You can get a great deal if you purchase, but you should have leased. Okay? Let's use this scenario. Let's use Frina. Let's use Frina as an example. So Zafrina, she picks up, and you can see this date. She's recent. This is just, not too long ago. So Frina gets a $65,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. She uses my system. You can see she uses the Cars from Home system, where she gets bids, multiple bids. We get at least 5. So don't look at this price and be like, oh, Deshone, that looks incredible. Yeah, that's because we get this through bidding. You get the best price. That's what we do here. So stick around, you'll understand if you're new to the show. But she's paying $579 a month for a $65,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Just so we can, let me level this out for y'all. If she pulls up to someone who decided to purchase because they didn't understand leasing, or they was taught never lease, so they're going to go in, they want that same truck as her. Let's just assume they got a ridiculous, how much is a great discount on this Jeep? I want to use your numbers. Type in the comments, what do you think is a great deal, a great discount? She go in just but don't be realistic though. Somebody walk in, she going and she looking at this $65,000 Jeep. Somebody's going to purchase it though. What would be, because I want to show y'all that even at the best discount that you could name, realistic though, you're still going to lose if you purchase compared to somebody who leased. Go ahead, throw some numbers out. What's a big discount? Okay, look. All right, I'm going to make up a number because it's like, okay, 600. No, not a payment. Not a payment. I'm talking about, okay, Aux the Pro said 20%. Now, we already know saving 20% off a new car is pretty much never going to happen, right? We can agree. That's usually never going to happen, 20% off the price. Let's see how much 20% is. So 10% will be $6,500. 20% would be $13,000. So let's say they knock $13,000, an impossible discount. Someday somehow we do something never been done before. They end up getting this car for $53,000. $53,000. Every $5,000 on a loan is how much per month, y'all? Some of you know, some of you seen my videos, some of you been on the show before. Every $5,000 on a loan is about how much per month? $100. Exactly. So let's do this math now. Continuing to drive this point home that there is no way for you to get a great deal when you purchase, but you should have leased. So the same person who just got this unbelievable, never gonna happen discount of 20% off a brand new car, $53,000, what's their car payment? $53,000, car payment's about $1,050 a month. $1,050 a month for 5 years. Let's just say they take another year on the loan. They say instead of a 5-year loan, let's take a 6-year loan. $900 a month for 6 years. Freena's paying $579. Is that sinking in? Type $ if that's sinking in. that, whoa, you telling me, Deshone, the same price that this person just got, and she got a ridiculous lease on it, she's paying $579 a month, even if a person got an never gonna happen discount. I literally just took what my man here on Instagram threw out, and he knew he was throwing out something crazy by saying 20%. Even with the 20%, payments $500 a month more than Frena got leasing it. Now let's do one more scenario here. One more. See, all of this is what I'm teaching. This is in my book. This is why the book is 4.9. Goodreads.com. Thank you to everybody who's reviewed the book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. One more scenario. Let's throw a used car in here. So we already looked at Frena's deal, brand new, great lease. Second, brand new, never gonna happen discount. Now let's throw a used one in there. Let's say somebody says, you know what? I'm looking for a hold on, I want to put that back up, Dolan. Let's keep that up because we're talking about this scenario. So please put Frena's deal back up on the screen, Dolan. Matter of fact, here I got it right in front of me. All right. So we got third scenario here. Somebody now is saying, all right, I'm gonna find that truck used though. So instead of 65, good price on a used one. Let's say we find one that's like 40% off, 3 years old. Again, I'm using extremes to show y'all. So some of you are like, Deshone, if you're using extremes and it's this different, dang, I've been overpaying by not understanding leasing. Yep. I wish I had Dave Ramsey here. I wish we could get Dave Ramsey on the show. You know, I wish he was in the audience. I wish him, you know, because unfortunately, look, shout out to Dave. I know he has the right heart, the right intentions, but he has the wrong information. He's what I call confidently incorrect. That means dangerous. You're dangerous. When you're confident and incorrect, you're dangerous to yourself and others. So now, used car. Somebody gets this car, they knock 40% off the price, and they get one for like $40,000. $65,000 truck. I got one 3 years old. I paid 40 for it. Every $5,000 we just said is about $100 a month. 40 payments, 800. You take a 6-year loan, payments 725. On a used one, we're no longer even talking apples to apples with the vehicle. On a used one, $579 Frena's paying, $725 for a 6-year loan on a used one, 3 years old, 1 year on the warranty left. Then you're on your own. $1,000 a month to buy a brand new one. See, son, you getting mad yet? Are you getting mad yet at the people who taught you not to lease? Now, who should be? Because some of you, if you just tuned in, you might be thinking, oh, Deshone, so should I only lease? No. If you are not keeping your cars 8 years, then you should only lease. Because when you buy, if you keep the car long enough, you can win. Because you're going to pay double what Frena's paying if you buy a brand new one. You're going to pay more on a used one, but eventually you pay off the car, you keep it 8, 10, 12 years. The longer you keep it, you can catch up. You're still not going to, you get what I'm saying? Because Frena's always going to have a payment. If she keeps leasing, she's always going to have a payment. But if you keep buying your cars, trading them in 5 years, trading them in 6 years, trading them in 4 years, you are no way, shape, or form even close to this. You're thousands and thousands of dollars away. There's thousands of dollars more every year coming out of your bank account than someone who understands leasing. Yeah. Tell your parents, tell your cousins, tell your brothers, tell your spouse. This is what I've been ranting about for years, trying to get you to understand. That's why I say there's no way to get a great deal if you don't understand. If your deal's on the wrong foundation, no way to get a great deal. It's impossible, no matter how much you save on the car. Okay? So yeah, we go deep on that today. Good. I'm happy we got a chance to go deep. All right. I see a lot of people typing $signs. You understand. All right, Dolan, shoot the next question up. Skinner, I see you on YouTube, man. It's real. It's real. This is what we do, man. I'm glad we gotta look. I'm the bad news first person, so don't think I gotta share the bad news first, and then but I'm also giving you the olive branch to like you can change this. You can start doing things different. You can start shopping different. You can learn how to make these people big. So go ahead, shoot the next question up, Dolan. Let's keep them coming. We're Thursday. We're live right now, y'all. So if you just jumped on the show, this is our live 12 p.m. show. Type your questions, and can y'all tap the screen on TikTok? Can we shoot those likes up? Can we? If you're gonna spend time with us and you're getting value out of what we're doing, I need everybody who's getting value hit the like button and start tapping the screen if you're on TikTok just to show that. Run those likes up. All right, I see it. See y'all lighting it up already. All right, Facebook, James. I'm an old school guy that was told not to let anyone run my credit. I'm not even sure how to download your book. Maybe you could walk us old timers through the process of downloading it. Unfortunately, I teach an online system. I'll be the first one to tell you my system's online. My system's right here in front of a computer. I've worked personally with probably 1,600 people personally in my coaching program since 2021. They got to know how to use a computer. I've had older people who get their children, who get their grandchildren come because and sorry y'all, my eyes are watering. I got a little something trying to jump on me, but we good. But I would be lying to you if I told you this isn't based on because we use copy and paste systems. You're sending emails. So that's one thing I can say. I wish I could, tell you otherwise, but if you want to use what I teach, I mean, now I've had people who get their grandchildren or get their children because my system to get great deals only takes 90 minutes. It only takes 90 minutes. That's why when you go to the page and you see my book, a lot of you are going to see the first thing I say on my website is this will teach you how to get below market deals in as quick as 48 hours. And the time you're putting in to get those deals is probably going to be about 90 minutes once you learn, as I walk you through my 7-step process. But you got to know how to use a computer. So I'm just being real with you. Like, I wouldn't tell you to get the book if you're not comfortable sending emails, copying and pasting, because it is an online system. So I would tell you, call one of your family members who's computer savvy. Tell them, hey, get this book, work this for me, help granddad out, help dad out. And not only are you helping yourself, but they'll now have a skill so that they can learn, so that they're now making dealers bid and they're at home. That's just me being as honest as possible with you. All right. Great question, though. Great concern. Skinner, what's up, my man? Skinner from YouTube. Deshone, what are the bank necessarily looking for different from what the dealership is? Banks want to lend. So think about where you're at right now. Skinner from YouTube just asked, so what is the banks necessarily looking for different than the dealerships? Banks, there's more banks around us that would want to lend us money to buy a car than we know about. So wherever your zip code is, the reason why I want you using the bank bidding war, which I laid out at the beginning of the show, if you just jumped on, you want to go to YouTube, you want to watch the beginning of episode 6, and I break down the bank bidding war. If you don't have my book, if you have my book, then you know the bank bidding war. Now, it's about letting the people who want to bid, because the dealers, here's the difference. It's your positioning. When a dealer knows you don't have any leverage, you haven't shopped bank offers, you're basically waiting for them to tell you what their bank said. Here's usually the conversation. What is the most interest? What is the highest rate you think they'll take? What is the highest rate that we can actually get them? And it might be 6.2, but at 6.2, we make some nice money on the loan. But that's not the best I could do. But I'm not going to give them the best I could do, because what sense does that make? I'm going to give you the most you're willing to pay. So if I go out and say, look, we got you 6.2, your payment's this. If you don't fight them, then that's what's going to happen. But when you have offers, now what you're doing is calling them and saying, look, I got 5.79 from my credit union, or 5.79 from this online bank. If you could beat it, then I'll give you the business. Not only does this make for a good relationship because you're giving them the opportunity versus saying, oh, I'm not letting you get the opportunity. This person has 7, 10 banks. You give them an opportunity, and this is how you guarantee the best rate. So it's not about they're looking for anything different. It's about positioning yourself so that the dealer is now trying to beat the rate you got versus what I just laid out 60 seconds ago when you don't have a rate in the conversation they're having. Leverage. Leverage. All right, that's the difference. One gives you major leverage to guarantee you're getting the best offer. One, you have no leverage, and so there's no guarantee. And you'll always drive wondering, man, could I have gotten a lower interest rate? That'll always be in the back of your mind. So we want to eliminate that. All right, great question, Skinner. Go ahead, Dolan. Next one. I don't see too many questions coming in on Instagram. Instagram, where y'all at with your questions today? We getting questions from TikTok. I see a lot of them. Let's go. Oh, there's one. Okay, Body by Michelle. When buying a luxury car with cash, when should I let the salesperson know? Okay. The process of what we teach doesn't change doesn't matter what you're buying. We've had people get Maseratis, get high performance BMWs. I know this works because bidding just works. So the first thing you have to do, Michelle, is realize I need to get at least 5 offers, because we're so concerned with how we're going to pay for the car that we're not thinking about which dealer is going to sell us the car for the lowest amount. Now, some of you may have been taught every dealer has the same price. I got this clue when people started saying things like Nissan doesn't have good deals. Hyundai, the deal on the Hyundais right now are terrible. That's either coming from 2 things and they're both wrong that I want you to stop today. Looking at advertisements, commercials, because some people say, Deshone, I look at that. The commercial says that, I got to put down $4,000 if I want to lease that vehicle. That's an advertisement. It's not a deal. It's a custom thing they put together that they want to present to the public. It's not a deal. When you look at what I just showed you with Frina, when you look at Danielle's lease on her Audi A3. She's paying $550 a month, $44,000 Audi A3. She only put her first look. This is her words. Due to circumstances out of my control, I had to lease something quickly. So my program, I told you, as quick as 48 hours, you can get below market deals. This doesn't take days and days and weeks. I took the course last weekend, did all my emailing back and forth because she's in my video program. So I do have my book, and then I have that same book in a video program. You pick. Now, finalized the deal on Sunday, was finally able to pick it up. This is the details. $550 a month. First payment down. Included maintenance, gap insurance, all fees, taxes, registration, 12,000 miles per year. MSRP was $44,000. If we saw a commercial, or if we went on Audi's website right now, that is not what they're advertising for that car's lease. They're probably advertising $479 a month with $3,700 due at signing, plus tax and fees, which would end up, if you wanted to get to this payment, you probably need $5-6 grand up front. That, I'm telling you, stop looking at commercials. Those are not deals. We don't look at commercials to dictate what the deal's going to be. Nothing that I'm ever going to show y'all that people are learning from me is ever going to match a commercial. Second thing that people might be looking at when it comes to what they deem they can get for a car is going into one dealer. That's it. Going to one dealer. What's the price? Oh, wow, that seems high. That's higher than I thought it was going to be. And leaving saying, oh, man, Nissan don't got no good deals this month. No, that Nissan dealer doesn't have good deals. And again, you have no leverage. So the first thing I want you to think about, Michelle, is changing the way you shop so that you can forget about how you're going to pay for the vehicle. First paramount thing is to make sure that I'm getting 5 offers, because we've done the statistics. I got people all around the country shopping that report to me. 80% of dealers are overpriced. I'm telling you numbers that I don't want you to ever forget. 80%. That means out of 100 dealers, 80 are overpriced. 20 are the great prices. So you're not going to walk into a dealer and get a great price, because you have more of a shot of walking into an 80% dealer than you do a 20%. So you stay at home. You could do it my way, which is in my book, totally online. You use my scripts, use my templates, they're copy and paste. Or if you want to do it your way, you can call around and get several quotes. But you need to get at least 5, because you're going to be amazed how different the quotes are. One dealer's charging $550, another dealer's charging this, another dealer's charging this. Hey, that's a $5,000 difference. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Okay, so that's what you focus on, Michelle. Forget it. If you're going to pay cash, keep that in the background. People walk into a dealership all the time. You see it on internet. They make videos about it. Oh, I'm walking in, man, about to get this Lamborghini. Yeah, I want that black one right there. Boom. All right, write him up. Let's get him out of here as fast as possible before he realizes what he needs to ask. Okay, and he don't want to look like he's negotiating. You're going to overpay all the time. People celebrate the cars, but they overpaying for them. So don't focus on how I'm getting the car. Focus on, let me get these offers so I can make sure I get the best price. Once I get the best price, here's the cash. Okay? Great question. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. We're live, y'all. This is our Thursday, 12 p.m. show. We'll be live for about an hour. So we're going to try to get through as many questions as possible, but I don't like to give short answers. And for those of you who like to shine, I want all the answers in one spot. That's in my new book. It's a digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers. And you can get yours, have everything I teach in one spot. If you get the 75% off price, it's $24. It'll be in your inbox in 5 minutes. You can get it in my TikTok bio. You can get it in my Instagram bio, or on Facebook, YouTube. We got a link in the comment section for you that you can get your copy at 75% off. But it's only for 30 minutes. Once the timer expires, it does go back up to the $97 price. Okay, YouTube, Hanako. Sorry, hold on. Eyes water, I'm sorry. All right, YouTube, Hanako. What if you guess incorrectly on what your yearly mileage will be for a lease? Can you renegotiate your lease if you will go over the mileage? So some brands will let you buy mileage before the lease ends. So you can buy them, but I think BMW has it where you can buy the mileage for like 15 cents, but you can't be within like the last 3 months or last 6 months, something like that. So everybody, if you do have that option, you want to call your leasing company and you want to see. But I teach to estimate your miles. Like I have a chapter in my book. It's not even a chapter. It's like a little section called Choose Your Mileage Wisely, where we walk you through the math. Now, sometimes lifestyle changes. You were working 10 miles from home. Now you're working 30 miles from home. That's understandable. What I like to do is we always do an equity assessment. Who has a lease, but you didn't know you could sell leases? Type of question mark. If you did not know that you could sell a lease, I want you to type a question mark in the comments, because you need to get familiar, and every one of you who are going to be replacing your cars, whether you own it, lease it, anything, you need to get familiar with what we call an equity assessment. Yep, I see a lot of you. So a ton of you have leased cars and you didn't know that you could sell leases. So imagine how much that's cost you so far. Again, I'm the bad news first person. If you dropped off a car without seeing if there was any equity, then you certainly, I mean, there's no guarantee, especially, but if you dropped off a car 2020, 2021, 2022, oh, you most certainly, there's a good chance you had equity because everyone did. And it was to the tune of, 5,000, 7,000, 10,000. If you had a truck, some of these trucks, $10,000, $12,000 checks people were getting. Now those big checks are over because that was a limited inventory thing where resale values were so high. Almost everyone had equity. But you need to make sure you're not leaving 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 on the table in this market. In a normal market, we always do an equity assessment. So if you're going over your miles, you want to do an equity assessment to see if you can sell it. Because if you sell it, you're out of it, and you can just go lease a new vehicle. But so the equity assessment is you call your bank, you get your payoff. You go, once you have your payoff, you want to ask them. It's only for leases. This question, the second question is only for leases. Do I have a third-party restriction? If they say yes, you just need to make a note of that. If you don't have a third-party restriction, and there's several brands that don't, Chase, Toyota, Mazda, there's still a couple leases out there that don't have third-party restrictions, then you're going to go and you can sell to any of the online bidders, highest bidders. You get all these offers. And look, let me be clear on when you should be doing this. Before you ever think about shopping for a car, you gotta take care of your equity. You shouldn't be shopping for a car and then saying, all right, now let me check and see what equity I got. Because now if you don't, you need to know that up front, because if you have $3,000, $4,000 of equity, that matters going into your budget. Maybe you want to apply it to your next deal. Maybe you want to put it in your bank account, but you need to know about it early. That's why it's the second step in my system. I got 7 steps. Equity assessment is the second step. As soon as you think about getting a new car, your first question should be buy or lease. Should I buy or lease? That means, am I keeping the car 8 years or not? And then the second thing is equity assessment, because that's going to tell you your positioning with your current car. So once you get your payoff, you go to the Carvana, CarMax, Driveway, and you look, you do what you want. I would not suggest you be lazy in this. This takes 20, 25 minutes, and this is your money. So you go to those websites, CarMax, Carvana, Driveway, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, hold on, Auto Nation Sell My Car, and Car Google Sell My Car. 6 offers, 6 cash offers, and that's going to tell you your equity position. That's once you know that, because some of you are going to do that and find out you got negative equity. Now you have to plan accordingly. Some of you are going to do that and find out you got 4,000 of equity. Now you got to plan accordingly. Some of you in leases are going to do that and find out you have no equity, in which case, I just need to wait until my lease is up. I can't get out early. But so the equity assessment tells you how you can move to the next step. Okay? So that's what you focus on. That's what you focus on at this particular step. Okay? Go ahead, shoot the next question up, Dolan. All right, we're getting a lot more. I'm gonna try to go faster, but go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan. This one's Instagram. That's my man that I said I didn't want to butcher your name. Might even be a woman, so I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name. But my lease is up in 6 months. I would like to lease again. Is my current lease gonna hurt me when trading it in? Equity assessment. I'm glad you asked that. Equity assessment. That's the game. That's the game. See, those are the questions that gets answered with the equity assessment. Is my lease going to hurt me or help me? Do the equity assessment, and you'll know. Now, if you have a third-party restriction, then we can't sell direct to these online buyers. We have to sell to a local car dealer of the same brand. So I have a script in my book where I walk you through talking to used car managers so that you can actually sell your car locally to them. You're selling a 2 or 3 year old car, usually good mileage for most. We need to sell that car to a local used car dealer, but we are still getting bids. We're not walking in. This is what a lot of people did. You may have did it. Man, I got a third party restriction. I'm gonna just walk into the dealer. hey, yeah, look, I know I got equity. You don't realize how you're making it hard for someone to even help you because you don't know how much equity you got, and now you're coming in and you're not really saying what you know. When you're at home and you're talking to managers, you're talking to people and getting offers for that car, you can speak intelligently. And we only talk to used car managers in those cases. But that's only if you have a third party restriction, because some people, another thing they were doing is buying their cars and then turning around and reselling them. Reason I never do that is because, and nobody who's listened to me, even throughout the pandemic, I don't think we had one person do that, is because when you buy, you pay taxes, you pay fees. So yeah, if I had 5,000 in equity and then I buy the car and resell it and then I pay 4,000 in taxes and fees, by the time the title gets to me and all of that, I might break even. When we sell direct to a used car manager or a local dealership, we don't pay those fees. So although they might not pay, they're not going to pay as much as CarMax, Driveway, and any of these online bidders, we still get offers from them because we don't have to. They're not going to pay those fees. We're not. Those fees aren't going to come out of our profit. Okay. Equity assessment. Again, D. I'm gonna just call you D. Go ahead. Next question, Dolan. Exactly. Exactly. Auto advisor. Equity assessment. How'd you come up with the auto advisor? That's so funny. I'm just not used to seeing, I'm not used to seeing anything that says the auto advisor unless it's there's a lot of Deshone the Auto Advisor accounts going around inboxing people to buy crypto. I don't do anything but car education. So if it ain't about Cars from Home, my book, if it ain't about Cars from Home, my video library, it ain't about my coaching program, then it is not me. Stephanie from TikTok. So you can ask any lender, even if they don't work with them directly at the dealership? Absolutely. These people lend money. They don't care about selling you a car. People that lend money want to give you a loan. Good question. Absolutely. Go ahead. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. All right. Everybody getting value out of the show so far? Type dollar signs. Let me see the dollar signs. If you're enjoying and you're getting value out of this show, by the way, for those of you who just came, this is live. This is our Thursday live show. We rebroadcast these shows throughout the day, so that everyone can rewatch them. So you might see a rebroadcast, but Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. is when we're actually live. So when your coworkers, your family is talking about car shop, you want them here 12 p.m., 3 p.m. We're actually live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, Eastern time. All right. This one's from Instagram. How do you get a great lease deal? Bids. It's the only way. Because all right, so I'm gonna give you an example of how not getting bids will actually deceive you, and you could possibly think you got a great lease deal. So this is Charles. He got a Palisade. Palisade is probably one of the top 5. Definitely throughout the pandemic, it was probably top 5 most popular, SUVs. People were overpaying, and I don't want to, I don't, you might have one. And, unfortunately, a lot of people overpaid for these, and they're still overpaying for them. So he reached out to 3,500 dealers. Now he used my system. So this probably took him about 25 minutes. I have something in my book. My strategy is called the 25 to 5. What that is we're connecting with 25 dealers online. And our goal is to get 5 offers. Because if you want to show earlier, I told you 80% of dealers are overpriced. So we're going to get 5 offers, and they're going to be about $150 to $200 apart minimum. Your best offer when you get bids is going to be about $150 per month to $200 a month cheaper. Now, if you're purchasing, hold on. All right. Now, if you're purchasing, you're going to see, for those of you who are buying new cars, because we have several people that do that, you're going to see that there's about a $5,000 difference minimum between your best offer and your worst offer. So let's say I was buying this Palisade. When I get my bids, my best offer to my worst offer is going to be close to $5,000 difference. That's when you know you're doing it right. because we get below market car deals. Some people get market value car deals. Some people pay above market value car deals. Depends on the skills they have. So he got bids. He did this, used my system. Took him probably 30 minutes to reach out to 35 dealers, maybe 25 minutes, and he got 10 quotes. Offers range from 1.23 to 1.66. Now, that's what that's what I'm telling you. The 1.26 lease that he ended up getting a 1.23 because we always send a counter offer. I have a calculator in my book where you put it in. We must send a calculator. We must send a calculator. We must send a counter offer. So he ended up closing the deal at 1.23, all online. Never spoke to the dealer until he was ready to lock up the deal. But see the difference, 1.23 to 1.66. That means he's looking at offers. His best offer was $597 on a $48,000 Hyundai Palisade. His worst offer at 1.66, that same 1.66 divided into 48,500. Hold on. 1.66 times 48,500 would be about 700, 900, call it $800. So he's getting offers. That's when you know you've done it right. So to answer your question, Tobo, how do you get great lease deals? Bids. It's the only way. It's the only way. So his best offer is $597. The worst offer he saw out of all of them, he got 10 of them, was $800. Same vehicle. 80% of dealers are overpriced. Okay? Must get bids if you want to get deals like this. Only way. All right? Shoot the next one up. Now, look, hold on real quick. I want to say one more quick thing. Until you get bids and you have enough bids, you might think you got the best deal, but you just don't know what the best deal is. See, you're going off your gut. If you're going off your gut, look at Kimberly. Kimberly saved $20,000 on her Maserati. It's a $91,000 vehicle. She posted, the one she ended up getting was 91 because a dealer near her ended up beating this offer she had, but it was an $86,961 Maserati. They offered it to her for $66,261. So they're taking 20 grand off. But she had offers that were 10 grand off. She had offers that was 12 grand and 8 grand. And if she would have tried to assume, well, damn, 8,000, that feels good. I mean, shoot, brand new Maserati, taking 8,000 off. That gotta be a deal. See how much money she would have left on the table? See how much money she would have left on the table? So we cannot assume. We get multiple offers. We look at the lowest one. That's how we guarantee. All right? Go ahead. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. Great questions today. Great questions. Let's go. All right. We got Emo on YouTube. I test drove I'm test driving an MDX soon. Okay. I test drove an MDX as soon as we finished. They tried to get me to run my credit. I told them I'm shopping dealerships, didn't like it, so the manager came in the office and tried it. No again. 100%. You look, y'all. If you don't have a plan, you're under someone else's plan. You follow me? I'm gonna say that again. If you got a light bulb emoji, type a light bulb emoji, type a gym emoji. Remember this. If anytime you don't have a plan, you will be subject to someone who has a plan. And there's nobody that has a plan like car salespeople. We know what we're doing. We are not trained in much. We're not trained in finance like we should be. We're not trained in buying versus leasing like we should be. We're not trained in resale values like we should be. We're not trained in insurance products like we should be. There's more insurances to consider with a car than there is a house. Kid you not. Extended warranty, that's an insurance policy. You might use it, you might not. Tire and wheel, that's an insurance policy. Gap insurance. You have auto insurance. There's multiple insurances that you need to consider in this business, when you're buying a car, when you're leasing a car. We're not trained in none of that like we should be. But what we are trained in is how to make sure we have enough information to sell you what we want to sell you. And so if you don't have, and the people with the least integrity, they are certainly going to try to pin you down with the credit check. Can't give you a credit. I can't give you a quote without your credit. Come in. I need you to be here. When can you come? First question they ask, you all right? Who's getting phone calls from dealers right now? Raise your hand and type me if you're getting phone calls from dealers right now for any reason. Bring your car in early. Hey, your lease is almost up. Hey, I saw that we can get you in a new car. We can keep your payment the same. Look, nobody's business. If you're getting phone calls from dealers right now, type me in the comment. Look, Skinner said they blowing me up. So understand the reason why they're doing that is because they want to pin you down. It's just come on in. When can you come in? When I can come in, I get you to talk. Numbers in here, it means you're pinned down. You cannot do this. You're losing all your leverage. So that's why I'm telling you, you're going to shop with a plan if you're following what I'm telling you, if you're following what I teach. Some of you have my book already. Shout out to those who have my book. We're rated 4.9 on Goodreads.com. Appreciate everybody who's reviewed the book. You can get yours for 75% off. It's normally $97, but in my TikTok bio, 30 minutes only, you can get it for 75% off. Instagram bio is $24 if you get the deal in the comment section. But you must have a plan because they have a plan and you don't know who you're dealing with. So that's all I could tell you. But I'm glad you stuck to the guns. Even under the pressure, you didn't let them run your credit. You stuck to the guns. Way to go. All right, go ahead, Dolan. This one's from TikTok. Better to buy used or new? Planning to keep longer than 8 years. Thank you for all that information. Letting me know you understand the 8-year rule. I appreciate you. That's a matter of, okay, so if I'm buying to keep more than 8 years, right? Only question between new or used is a question of budget. Can you get everything you want and need in a new car for your budget? Once you get all your bids, can you get all those bids? Is the best bid that's going to win your business on a new car in your budget comfortably, then get a new car. But now some of you can't afford a new car that covers all your needs. Needs are the most important thing you need to think about. You need to know the difference between wants and needs. Needs is, I got 3 children, I need a third row. Need is, I drive on the highway a lot, I need a car that has good acceleration. That's needs. Needs are things where if you don't get them, you're not going to like the car, you're going to trade it in because it's not doing the basic things you need it to do. That's needs. Wants is, I like to have the sunroof. I don't need it though. But if I can get it in my budget, I'll take it. I like to have this. I like to have that. These are wants. You got to know the difference. Unless your budget can buy everything. But if you can't get everything you want and need in a new car for your budget, then we go used. But if you get everything you want, there's plenty of people who are like, you know what, Deshone, I am a long-term person. I'm keeping more than 8 years. I could afford both. I only get a car every, only once a decade. I want to get a new one. That's fine. And some of you are like, you know what? I really want to go with even more value. So I'm gonna look to get a pre-owned one, not 30% off the price, 20% off the price, 40% off the price. That's fine too. There's no right or wrong there. Just go through it and pick the one that works for you. Great question. Okay. And now I haven't told you, while you putting the next question up, Dolan, my process for shopping for new cars and leases is totally different than the process we teach on shopping for used cars. It's entirely different. One is called the 25 to 5, where we're reaching out to 25 dealers online, connecting with them, looking to get 5 offers. The other one is the multiple marketplace strategy, where we're on all the online marketplaces where used cars are, and we're narrowing down. We're looking at the used car market, the low prices. We're turning on alerts on our phone so we get notified whenever there's a new car that pops up. Totally different process. Both are online. But with a used car, we cannot do 100% of our transaction online. Sometimes with new cars, we've had people who never left their house. They just went to test drive the car and everything was done online and the dealer delivered the car to them. That's fine because it's a new car. No one drove it. With a used car, we must test drive. So we can only do about 90% of our process with used cars online. 10% has to be in the dealer. Okay. Miss Dollface on Instagram. When is the best time of the month to purchase a car? There is no best time. And I'm gonna tell you why. I know you pile. What's the time that you've been taught? I want to hear from you. Like, go to your keyboard right now. What is the time that you've been taught is best during the month to buy a car? And we got a bunch of people on here, a bunch of different people. Tell me the time that you've been taught is the best time to buy. And then I'm going to tell you why that's not the best time. Right? And I know what everybody's going to say. We all going to say the same thing because we were all taught. Well, now I can't say we because I was in the business. Exactly, HBD, end of the month. Cherie said November. Tothy on Instagram, end of the month. Look, Skinner, around the holidays. So your answer, Skinner, was about the same as Sharice. November, coming into the holidays. Now, I want you to picture any other business because what I'm trying to get you to see is that you are taught, programmed to shop for cars different than you shop for everything else in life. Everything else in life. Because if you had a business where every single time at the end of the month, just dozens and dozens of people just came into your store because that's what the marketing did. Are you more, and let's really use some real terms here. Are you more desperate to sell something when the store is packed? Or are you more desperate to sell something when the store is empty? See, I want to tell you a story. If I could get you to continue to keep these stories in mind, it'll answer your questions. Now, obviously, everything's in my book. Some of you have my book and you understand all of this is laid out for you. But even as you're listening, I want you to grasp concepts that you're going to see. Are you more desperate to sell something when the place is exactly, Toothy, when the place is empty? Place is empty. If I got a store and I haven't opened up that register all day long, it's daggone 5 p.m. I haven't seen one customer. I'm desperate. But if the store is packed, man, I ain't thinking, what are we giving deals for? You know what I'm saying? What are we giving deals for? The place is packed. We're not desperate. So the marketing is great. The marketing makes you think, oh, end of the month, we're getting the best deals here. There's clowns up here. They got daggone balloons. They got the guy outside with the arms blowing. They got signs everywhere. This is what the place is a carnival. Why do we need to give away these cars? No. You don't want to be sitting next to somebody and Jim drives off with a car and Jim, all right, man, have a good one, man. Yeah, you here too, man. We was here the same time. Great. Yeah, man, I'm going. And you sitting there and you going to say no to a deal. Salesman looking at you like, hey, look, do you want it or not? Because, we're real busy. It's people waiting in line. Do you let me know? So it's the pressure. It's the like. So I say that to say what you've been taught, the holidays, the end of the year, sounds good. But you're much more likely to get a deal when there's no one in the showroom. The 10th of the month, the 2nd of the month, place is dead. And I like to make sure you're positioned. So what I teach is something you need to have 2 dates in mind. 2 dates. Every time you're shopping for a car, I teach you need to know these 2 dates. The as soon as date and the no later than date. The as soon as date is the soonest you can buy a car. Soonest you can buy a car, as soon as date. You're not in the market until your as soon as date is today. Step 5 in my process, my 7-step process is in the market, getting offers. I can buy something today. That's my as soon as date. My no later than date is my deadline. Now you have to know these 2 because the time in between is your leverage. So let's just say my as soon as date is today. I can start looking at offers. But my no later than date, I got 2 months. 2 months. I need to have a car by this time, 2 months from now. That's my deadline. I got all that time in between to say no. I got all that time in between that when I'm contacting dealers, when I'm looking at inventory, I can look at trends. I can see are the prices dropping. I can have alerts on my phone, getting access to the new inventory. This is our process. So some of you are like, Deshone, I need a car in a week. Well, you still have a as soon as date and a no later than date. 3 days, soon as date, no later than, doesn't matter. So you have to know these 2 dates because in between is your leverage, which is why I don't want you emergency shopping unless it's an emergency. Okay? I don't want you emergency shopping. Don't get into the habit, don't stay in the habit of emergency shopping. Oh, I'm gonna put it off to the last minute, and then, oh, I gotta go into the dealership. Oh, I need a car this week. All of that is working against you. Now, if you can still get, in fact, when you go to my website for my book, you'll see it says below market deals in as quick as 48 hours. But the more time you have, the more time you have to say no. Programs change every month. You see deals change, lease programs change, rebates change. And so when you have inventory changes, so if you're looking for a black or blue car, all these dealers don't have one right now, but they got one coming next month. You can, that's fair game for you because you have time. So these are all the benefits of getting in the market 3 months early and learning how to look at the deals. If there's a great deal now, we jump on it. If there's not, okay, I'll look next month. And that's what I did when I got my mother's lease on her Mazda CX-5. October, I was looking at the deals. I didn't like them. Got all my offers. I said I didn't like them. Now, the great thing is I made contact with all these dealers. So they know. Now I'm following up next month. Hey, just checking in. How's the deals looking for this month? November, didn't like them. 3rd month, December, got the deal I liked. Wrapped it up. So don't always think time is an asset. Time is an asset. Now, if it's an emergency, that's fine. We got to get a below market deal. We only got a week to do it. That's fine. You better have a strategy. But if you have the luxury of time, we use that to our advantage. So I wouldn't say there's a best time of the month to purchase a car. But if you're in the market and you're positioned, here's another thing you're positioned for. Every now and then we come into the dealership. When I was at Mercedes, when I was with General Motors, it happens all the time throughout the year. It could happen on the 10th of the month. It could happen on the 12th of the month. It could happen on the 8th. We don't know when this is going to happen, but this is the conversation I'm about to give you, a behind the scenes look of exactly what happens and why I want you to be positioned. We come in and look at the numbers on the board. Sales manager looks and says, man, we got 20 cars sold for the month. We are way behind our objective. All right, listen, call everybody anybody you got, anybody that's real, anybody that's a real buyer, call them. We're not turning down any serious offer today. You want to be the person that's positioned. Hey, Jackie, and they're usually emailing us because we don't talk to, nothing that we do requires talking to salespeople. So if you email, hey, Jackie, hey, it's Ray over at such and such. Were you still looking for that car? Have you found it yet? No, okay, I know the quote I gave you before was $550. I know you wanted to be here, but my manager said, listen, we'll take any offer today. We really want to move a car. See, you were taught that only happens at the end of the month. It doesn't. You got to be positioned. You got to be positioned. And so that's the luxury of time. So this is what it is, y'all. I want you shopping with a strategy. This is what I want you shopping with. All of this is in my new book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships, learning the science of making dealers and banks bid for your business while you sit at home, getting below market car deals in under 90 minutes. And you can get your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, or you can click in the comment section on YouTube and Facebook. We got a comment pinned for you guys. Or if you're watching us on TV, you can scan that QR code with your phone. Get your copy, use it, use everything in it. I walk you through everything in there. Leasing is in there step by step. Purchasing new cars in there step by step. Purchasing used cars step by step. High mileage drivers, I got 2 strategies for you. If you're a short-term high mileage driver, everything's in there step by step. If you have credit issues, I walk you through step by step. So get your copy. We are back live for episode 7 at 3 p.m. And we'll, like I said, this is not a rebroadcast. We do these live shows Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. So we'll be back for our next segment in a little bit if you want to join us. If not, tell your friends about us, and we look forward to it. We always look forward to the people who are ready to change their life, empower themselves, stop shopping like desperate victims, begging people to help you, begging people to give you a car, begging people to help you. Please, can I get no money down? Going in with wrong information. Down payments are illegal. All of this stuff that is just totally terrible. It's no other way to put it. It's just terrible. I want y'all shopping different. I want you empowered. I want you in control. I want you leaving a dealership guaranteeing I got the best price. Sending me email, Deshone, look at this deal I just got. I got all these offers. Look at this used car I just got. I got 40% off the brand new price. That's what I want you emailing me. Empowered, and that's what we're going to get to. God bless y'all. I'll see y'all on the next segment. Shout out to everybody.